To have many cats is both a blessing and a curse. I turn around and my green screen's flopping in the corner. Microphone's covered in what looked like cobweb dust. But I will give props to Pippin, who you've seen on stream quite a bit. She's the one who was hurt for 3 months, and she's been back to normal for the past 3-4 weeks now. Totally came in here and killed a spider this morning. I don't know how she heard it. It was underneath boxes. She's a good huntress. What is up, everybody? We may need to adjust some volume levels as we get going here. I had zero plans to do this when I made that original video. And then 48 hours went by and that video did like 35,000 views, and I went, well, shit. I guess we are rolling up on the Lord of the Rings online legendary servers. I did mention this yesterday, but just as a reminder for people who are tuning in today, this is not going to be a regular thing. It can't be. I have way too many other irons in the fire, but I do have a deep passion for this game. I've played it since it launched. It's my favorite MMORPG of all time. I can't recommend it enough to people. Yes, it's a little dated. No, it doesn't have voiceovers, except for maybe in Rohan a little bit. It's a lot of text, but it's very Tolkien-esque. It's very Middle-earth. It's a damn good game if you just want something fun. And these new legendary servers added a new event, which sounds intriguing, with the ring wraiths coming out and going after you and stuff. But I'm way too busy with No Man's Sky. I've got the World of Warcraft: The War Within starting on the 22nd. Star Wars Outlaws on the 27th. Then Space Marine 2. I will squeeze this in where I can. Once a week, maybe we do a stream. Possibly more than that if we do it in the evenings. And probably some guides around classes and stuff on the legendary servers. But don't expect me to be turning this into a mainstream because I got way too many other irons in the fire. And I say that with some people just shaking their head going, that's what you said in the video when you said you weren't going to create a character in this server. All I can say to that, ladies and gentlemen, is you're not wrong. There's two playlists if you're watching on YouTube right now. If you're watching over on Twitch, because we are multi-streaming, then we'll put some links in the chat here. If you're watching right now, we're doing Angmar, the legendary server. There is a playlist for the Angmar server, so that if you only want to watch the episodes for the legendary server, you can. If you would like to check out like 4 years or whatever of Lord of the Rings Online content on this channel, there's another playlist which has all of my old lotro content. Lots of class guides, lots of quests, overviews, strategy guides, farming guides, like everything. I've done it all in this game. And there's also a lotro cooking in real life series that I did with my wife a few years back, where we went into this game in particular and we pulled recipes out of the cookbook and made those recipes in real life, put it up on YouTube, and also on Patreon for those of you who like food photography. One of the things Chris and I used to do before I got into game dev and streaming full-time was travel photography, videography. We did a lot of gastronomy photos and videos for clients over the years, so it was really fun to be able to do that in our home kitchen and cook recipes from Lord of the Rings Online. This is a great game. It's a big game. The legendary servers just started. It's a great time if you want to come try this game out on a fresh start server where you'll be able to start a character where there's a low level population. Bear in mind the legendary servers do cost a monthly subscription, and if you complain about that in my chat, I will immediately hide you from the channel and ban you, because don't complain. There is a free-to-play version of this game that you can go play for free, which has the old legacy servers, and it's freaking amazing. You can go up to level 90, Helm's Deep, without ever doing anything, without ever purchasing anything. No gold caps, no race caps. So if you want to trial the game, go try out the free servers, and if you decide you like it, then you can pony up, subscribe, and come play on the legendary servers. There's one called Angmar, which is for the United States, North America, I just should say, which is what we're playing on. There's another one in Europe called Mordor, which is the first European server they've done since the Codemaster days, which is when because I played this at launch. I was living in Bulgaria and actually played on the Codemaster servers for quite a while. Anyway, that's the intro stuff out of the way. We're here to have fun. The vote for what class I should play was the Ranger, which is great because the Ranger is my favorite class in this game. I've played it a lot over the years. I think I have 4 different Rangers. I've played everything in this game, other than I've not played the Mariner, which just came out. But we did a vote on YouTube over the past 48 hours, and the vote was 40%. I think actually it's 39% now, but it's like 39% in favor of the Hunter. The Runekeeper was like, what was it? 31% or something. And then the rest were all down and much lower, like the Burglar and I forget what else I put up there. So we're gonna go with a Hunter. I will probably also start a Lore Master at some point because I have not played the Lore Master changes. So there have been some pet changes, and I think the red line, you can no longer summon a pet while you're in the red line, the trait tree, because they've now made that like the DPS only tree for the Lore Master. So I'd like to check that out at some point. But we are going to go with a Ranger to start. I'm going to go with a human. I typically have done elves in the past, but I wanted to do human this time because I think the armor looks, if you can look at this armor set, I really like the look of the armor. And if I do him right, I can play him from a roleplay perspective in my mind as one of the Dunedain. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to roll a human Hunter. So let's get into character creation now. If you've got questions, let me know in the chat. Don't forget the playlists. Let me drop the... hang on. I gotta go in here and do this real quick. I need to drop those over on Twitch for everybody, since they're easily accessible here on YouTube. Alright. Drop them in the chat here too, just for S&Gs on... God, I gotta stand up to check this keyboard. Alright. So what happens when you move? Oh, I can only do one time. They're in the description for YouTube. You guys know where to click. It's not wanting to let me paste it because it's too big of a message, and I'm too lazy to post it in 2 parts. But it is up on Twitch for the people over there if you want to check out the playlists. I don't normally do mouse and keyboard too often, so I gotta get my camera back in focus. There we go. It's an autofocus. What's up, Grade 8? Renfail is the name, of course. I think I'm pretty happy with, right now I want to do hair. Oh, I feel like... Oh, have they done the human revamp since the last time I played? They've done the human revamp since the last time I played. I think I remember covering a news article on this a while back. I think the elf update is still in the works. Oh yeah, these are all new hairstyles since I played last. Oh, that's so cool. I wonder if these came with like the river hobbits and stuff. I'd have to check the timeline on these. Very cool. Alright, I know I want a beard. Gotta have a beard. We need a full beard. Probably go with that one. I need an appropriate hairstyle. That's not bad. We might just do a pulled back look. It's gotta be a little gray, because I'm a little older now. Oh, there's stubble you can do too? Oh, that's cool. More options are better. I can dig that. I dig it. I dig it, man. I need to maximize that window since I'm sitting down so far away this morning. Welcome to Twitch, Cosmic Unity. Thanks for the follow. I'm okay with body type. Let me go through, because I usually pick one of the longer hairstyles. I just want to make sure. That was number 8. That's a little too uniform. Yeah, I think we'll go with number 8. I kind of liked that. I can dig it. The rest of it, I think I'll just leave as it is. Where am I from, though? This is an important decision from a roleplay perspective. So I'm going to go through this for those of you who might be new to Lord of the Rings Online, because there was a question asked either yesterday or the day before on one of the videos. Does it matter what race you play? And the short answer is no. It used to matter. They do have some unique stats and characteristics, but it's not... You're not going to feel like you're missing out. It's mostly a roleplay choice. It's they changed the, basically the lore. You go through the lore and listen to all these things about your character. Breland. You grew up in the Brelands, were once part of the North Kingdom of Arnor, once ruled by Elendil the Tall as High King of Middle-earth, and later by his elder son Isildur. Now it is a simple but rustic land, and the North Kingdom is no more. Gives you some naming guidelines on how to name your Brelander character. There's the Dale Lands, which is the northeast of Middle-earth between the Lonely Mountain, where Bard the Bowman slew the dragon Smaug and fought in the Battle of the 5 Armies. There's also a Gondorian. You can create a character from Gondor, jointly ruled by the sons of Elendil, Isildur, and Anarion. Rings of Power Season 2, almost here. Chris and I are doing a rewatch of Season 1 as soon as we finish up Season 4 of Dexter, which she's never seen, so we just started last night. She's been power binging Dexter, but we're about to do our rewatch of Season 1 of Rings of Power. Rohan, you're one of the Horse Lords of the Rittermark. And when you get to Rohan, it's really cool. I think we're just going to go with a Brelander, maybe. Well, if I'm going with one of the Dunedain, I might say that I'm from Gondor and I've traveled west. By the way, you don't have to roleplay in this game, everybody. I just like to have a little bit of fun. I think we'll do Gondor. Avatar update visible. Oh, I didn't even have that on. I guess that's for like... Alright, we're from Gondor. Rohan, sorry. My brain is in a different place. Renfail. Starting to show Shadows of Angmar. We've done everything we need to do. We have a level 1 Manhunter. And no, we will not be hunting man flesh. Keep that nasty Urukai filth off my channel. I think we just did this starting area last year in one of the guides I was doing. Because I did a Hobbit Burglar and we did this.
A chance encounter with brigands upon the road leads to captivity. You awaken with the Ranger Strider before you. As he urges you to act quickly, you realize you have become involved in matters much greater than yourself.
Okay, we have to adjust the audio settings really quick, everybody, because I do remember that I want to turn player music volume way down. Pretty sure combat sounds are for shouts and stuff. If I remember, we're going to end up turning that down a little bit. Definitely bring the music down, because we want to be able to hear the voiceovers as best we can. I'm going to leave the sound effects up for the moment, but we may do some additional yeah, I don't need voice mode. That should be enough for now. We may have to do some more adjustments there. And let me also filter out all this world chat for now. Looks like world chat, can turn that off. Let's turn off trade chat. I want to be able to see all of my quest text and stuff so that we can quickly and easily read things. So we're going to keep all that stuff off. We can turn it back on when we want to, because that's how you find groups and stuff if you want to go group up. But we're not here to do any of that right now. Okay. Strider says, hurry, we must hasten if we are to escape. For those of you who've never played an MMORPG, it's this, you know, standard WASD stuff. And we're supposed to search the satchel for a weapon. Got a gear satchel. I gotta remember that B is not for bags because we're not playing World of Warcraft. I is for bags. Oh, and I have to redo my bags because... Hang on. We gotta adjust some of this stuff really quick, and I have way too much stuff that's gonna pop because of all the veteran rewards. So hold on. Sorry, but not sorry. We'll sort all this stuff out later. It does not have to be done right now. I will rearrange everything right away. Where did the gear bag go? I got a bow. We're going to drag this stuff up and out of here so that way it's all where we need it. Okay, we got a stick bow, a knife, and a gear satchel, which I need to find in the inventory really quick. Dun, dun, dun. Where did it go? That's where was all this stuff. In your gift box, 15-year gift box. Or the 3. Gosh darn it! Where's the Where did I put the satchel? Not forgotten handkerchief. Maybe that's just. It says gear satchel. Contains basic equipment. Where did it put it though? I don't see that anywhere. Anyway, unless it just automatically opened it. We've got that bow, and then we can go into the inventory, and we can say this is a 1 to 9, 1.9 DPS, 1.7 DPS, this is 1.7. Get that out. Can you dual wield this low level? I don't remember. You can. Yeah! It might have just got it equipped. It's a good quest. Good idea. I think I might have just automatically unboxed it and put it in my inventory because I sure as... Or maybe that's just... did I grab it maybe? Or not grab it? Yeah, I definitely picked it up. I think it might have just unboxed itself. But you can tell I haven't played a while because I keep hitting the wrong buttons. It's alright, we'll figure it out.
Hurry, friend. We must test your will to fight.
You are not the only prisoner here, friend. My fellow Amdir and I have come to rescue a hobbit, but it turns out he is not the hobbit we have been tracking. This escape will be dangerous for us all, for I know that a great evil lurks here. I have heard its movements, and I can feel its presence. Do you know how to fight? You should practice with me to get a feel for that weapon. Welcome to the channel. That's going to keep going off. I may have to turn that audio cue off. This tells you how to do all this. We need to do one more thing before we do anything else. Hit the auto. This is a new keyboard. Alright. Hold that thought, Strider. I forgot. I gotta open up my hotkeys. UI settings. Quick slots. Do I have my other bars open? Yep, they're already up. Okay. We're gonna keep my melees here. We're gonna put blind side up here. Penetrating shot can stay there. We're gonna leave. We're gonna put that there. We're gonna leave that right there. Okay.
Well done. Let us press on.
Your skill in battle is most impressive. Listen closely. I will need your help in getting out of here. When we leave this jailhouse, the real battle will begin. Doors and portals! Basically, you're looking for yellow things that lead you to another place. Like so. We're in a place called the Blackwold Camp, and we've just escaped from this little door here. Strider's waiting for us.
Here is where we must part ways.
You should free the two innocent hobbits also being held captive here. Kellandine Brandybuck and Mundo Sackville Baggins. I must search for signs of the Servant of Mordor and find out what I can of his connection to the Blackwolds. Amdir, my fellow ranger, is making a safe path for us. He will be waiting for us at the main gate. Free Kellandine first. It's Mundo they want alive, for they have mistaken him for someone more valuable. When you have both hobbits safe, seek Amdir near the main gate. There we make for Archet, where we will find safety. You should find Kellandine beyond that gate. But guess what? We're going to have to fight. Booyah! Experience points, leveling up. You shush, Kel! I sit on a throne of lies. CF Filter says DLing this because of your videos. Well, that's good to know, man. It's a great game. Great part about the hunter is being ranged. Burn them down before they get to you. Hopefully. Not always. Okay. Drama! Many stories of Middle-earth will unfold before your eyes. Be sure to pay attention to these events to gain insight into your quests. Sometimes you will be momentarily halted in order to watch very important scenes and stories. Which just means pay attention because you're not going to get voiceovers. And sometimes there will be quests taking place around you, and if you're not paying attention to the dialogue, the chat bubbles and stuff, you'll be a little bit lost. And then when something really important happens, you'll see. You'll lose control of your avatar. In the base game, it's very simple stuff. You'll just see in-game engine stuff, but later on they started adding cutscenes into the game in the later expansions.
How do you do?
I was starting to worry that this little misadventure would be the end of me. These brigands are appalling folk. Alright, we're having so many people follow, I think I'm going to have to just shut that off. So I'm going to just say this right now. Thank you so much for the follows, everybody. We have a ton of people pouring in on YouTube and Twitch. We're multi-streaming right now as we do every single day at 11 a.m. Central usually. I started an hour early today because Chris and I went for a run and I got home. I published the Star Citizen video and my No Man's Sky stuff and was like, you know what? I'm going to start an hour early today. So, yes. Alright, we'll need a distraction. I know just what to do. Just need a bit of flame. And a place to put it. Whoosh! That should get their attention. Follow me! There he is. Don't you move one curl hair, Hobbit. This is Edric. We're gonna take care of him. Mundo Sackville Baggins. It's about time you got here. By the way, I do voiceovers for this game, folks. If you've never watched me play Lord of the Rings Online before, sorry. I don't do voiceovers in a lot of games, but I do for this one. Not 100%, but I do like doing voiceovers. It's about time! Was I expected to rescue myself? Come on, you big clodpole. Get me out of here before those ruffians return. They want to sell me off like a sack of potatoes. I don't play through Steam, so I have no idea, Sea Filter.
Back! Go back to the shadow, fallen king.
You have no power over me, but soon I shall have power over you.
And this guy falls. Ah, Amdir!
Ah, the halflings. Where is the baggins promised me?
Alright, so we just lost control of our character if you've never seen this before. In moments like this, it's a cutscene essentially.
May you all burn.
Begone, foul spawn! You will not harm these folk.
Go, Strider!
Renfail, come quick.
Alright, here's Amdir. Fortunately, he's been attacked by a Nazgul.
Good. The hobbits are out of danger. I am glad. Do not concern yourself with me. The greatest danger has passed. The Nazgul fear those who wield fire.
Oh, he fell down. That's not good.
I regret that I was but a moment too late.
Amdir has
But
been
all is
pierced.
not lost.
Amdir has been pierced with a Morgul blade. This does not bode well. We need to leave this place at once. Archard is nearby. Will serve as a good resting place while Amdir recovers. Quickly, follow me.
Wounded by a Black Rider, the Ranger Amdir escaped with his charges into the wild, making his way back to the village of Archard. There, Captain Brackenbrook, a retired sellsword, has allowed Strider and his companions to stay and take respite from their cares.
Alright, I probably should... Ooh, glowy footprints. That's a cool VFX. Probably from a cosmetic. Alright, so while we're sitting here, we should probably... God, I keep hitting B because of World of Warcraft. We need to deal with this really quick because I do have a ton of stuff in here in my inventory. I can't remember... Yeah, it's control click. These are cosmetic cloaks. Don't worry about it. This is a stat cloak, so we'll put that on. We also have a handkerchief, which we'll put on. Oh, we just used that, I guess. Okay. We have a whole bunch of gift boxes. I've got the corgi, which we can... These are going to be all my veteran stuff, but I got to clean them out of the inventory before we get going, because otherwise it's going to drive me nuts that my inventory is full of junk. So, this is the title. Yep. The flames are disabled for the moment. Journeyman Riding trait package. We can unlock all of our horses. Okay, now we can start going through here. There's the 10-year mortar frame. I might just go through the anniversary boxes. It's just going to be a bunch of fireworks and potions and stuff. And keys for lock boxes. I probably have a few thousand points. I think I still have like 3,000 points left over. We're gonna have to find a bank like immediately, so I can stash all this stuff. I won't need the tracery tokens because this server hasn't moved to Moria yet for the legendary weapons. I'm not too worried about the cosmetics for the weapons yet. This is another... That's a tome. Fireworks. I'm just looking for more bags. Cosmetic armor with green. Oh, I should have just stashed that whole box. I should not have opened that. Hold up. That was a wrong decision on my part. Let's go find... I don't think there's a bank nearby. Shit! I should not have opened that box because it put a whole bunch of stuff in my inventory. I wasn't paying attention. This is another pet. This is the swan kite. This is the pig. This is to turn off XP, I think, or something. I forget what. No, to turn off your bonus riding speed. That's an emote. That's an emote. It's item, fireworks. It's another cloak. These are things for my mount. This is another mount. Okay. I think we're good to go. Probably just need to do this. That'll at least sort it down there, and I can worry about a bank when we get to Bree. I can't believe I unboxed that armor set, though. That sucks. Just because it's just so much stuff that you have in your inventory. I forget what that set looks like, though. Oh, it's the Gondor set. Yeah, that's right. We have the hooded cloak with Great Alliance. There are so many cosmetics in this game, you can get totally lost in it. But we're just going to use this little starter stuff right here. Okay, I think we only have one quest right now, which is to talk to Kellandine Brandywine.
Thank goodness you're awake. That fellow Amdir seems very ill.
He is ill. He's been stabbed by a Morgul blade. Thank goodness. You are exhausted after what happened last night, but that ranger got us all safe to Archer in the end. I'm terribly worried for his friend. You could check on him if you'd like. He's just over there to the west of where I'm standing. Okay.
Do not trouble yourself on my account. It is only a chill.
It's only a flesh wound. Thank you for your concern, but it is Strider for whom I fear. He is charged with a great task, but tarries for my sake and for Archer's.
Amdir assures you he is well, but he is deathly pale and trembles with chill.
There are too many deeds to be done, all pressing, and none of them easy.
Hail, Renfail. Alright, I am torn. I do not wish to leave him this state, and Archer must be warned. But the Blackwolves mean to raid the town. I should be seeking a different baggins right now. So I am playing a hunter, so we're going to go for the medium armor.
Perhaps you can help, my friend.
And
Captain
one of these days
will
I'll
not
stop
heed my
hitting the B
warnings.
button. Quick tip for new players. If this is your first time ever playing Lord of the Rings Online, save everything. Every single quest reward, make sure you pay attention to it and don't sell anything, because everything is a cosmetic item or can become a cosmetic item in this game. There are thousands, probably tens of thousands of items. So anytime you get a new piece of armor and you get something like this cloth waistcoat, don't throw it away, because you might like the look of it. Never throw something away until you're absolutely sure that you don't like the look of it, and then get rid of it. Because if it's a quest reward, you won't be able to ever find that again. But everything can be used for cosmetics in this game, so pay very strict attention to that. Don't throw anything away.
Perhaps you will help, Renfail. The people of Archet will be in great danger when the Blackwolves execute the plan we witnessed last night. The captain here, a man named Brackenbrook, does not like my look, and will not heed my warnings. Pray, speak to him on my behalf, and see if you can rouse him. Every moment I spend here is a moment in which my true charge plunges blindly nearer to unfathomable peril. The Black Rider you saw last night seeks a Baggins, and our friend Mundo is not the only one. Another thing for new players, if you've never played this before, everything you do in this game, there's multiple types of quests. One is the generic world quests, which have many different storylines and stuff, but those are like a zone quest. If you're familiar with those from other games, there'll be like, you'll go to a zone, that zone will have quest hubs and quest chains. There's also what's known as the epic book quest, which unfolds in chapters. It unfolds in books and chapters. The launch version of this legendary server is in what is known as the Shadows of Angmar, which is a level 1 to 50 storyline that has the main storyline has you doing single player content, small group content with 3 players, full group content with 6 players, and there's even raids associated with things in the long run. The main story takes place across this. It is a very Tolkien-esque storyline. Much of it takes place with you traveling alongside the Fellowship
as their journey unfolds. So right now, this is where, for those of you who have read the books or seen the films, the hobbits are basically in the process of leaving the Shire, and that's all taking place right now. And Strider is here looking for them, but he's being sidetracked because of what's going on right here. Every race in this game that you play, without spoiling any of the storylines, they all have an intro series of quests like this, which it's been a while. I think it's like level 1 to 7, 1 to 5, 1 to 7, somewhere in there, which takes place in an area like this, and then you get put out in the real world, and then you have a zone that you'll go through, and that zone will take you up to around 15 or so, and then you'll get told to go to Bree, and at Bree is where you will meet Strider, and you will start to follow in the footsteps of the Fellowship as the hobbits are traveling through the Shire, to the Brandywine, through the Old Forest, to the Barrow Downs, to the Lone Lands, through into the Trollshaws, to Rivendell, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff that takes place in the Misty Mountains and in Rivendell, and then you'll start to move around and do stuff that's sort of independent of the Fellowship. And then if you decide to stick around with this game, Moria is the first expansion, and you move with the Fellowship into Moria, and you're following in their footsteps. One of my favorite quests in the game is when you have to go down in the very deep depths of Moria after Gandalf has fallen with the Balrog, and you're looking for evidence of that. That's one of my favorite quests. But my all-time favorite quest in this game isn't going to happen for a long time on the Legendary server. It's when you're going down the river and you do a flashback sequence where you're actually there with Boromir and Merry and Pippin when the orcs, and it's so tragic and it brings tears to my eyes, but it's so cool. And then Rohan is probably my favorite expansion to date, because that's when they started really doing tons of voiceovers, and the moment when King Theoden sees the Ents for the first time is just like it is in the book, and you get the goosebumps, and there's so much cool stuff here. If you've never played before. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
Oh, let them stay on account of the Pale One's wounds. You say the Black Wolves mean to attack us, but I don't believe it. Not without proof. Those brigands have always been about. They're unruly, but not murderous. No, I'll not be attacking them without good reason. If you must, you go to talk to folks around town and get their opinions. If they're on your side, I'll consider the Rangers' warning. Captain Brackenbrook does not believe the Black Wolves are a threat.
What do you need?
If Captain Brackenbrook says we're safe, then we're safe. So she blindly trusts him.
How can I be of service?
Yep, they couldn't hurt a squirrel's nest, let alone our town.
He believes Archit is safe from danger.
What do you need?
I see that your friend is wounded. So she trusts him as well. By the way, this is one area I wish that EverQuest 2 would have cleaned up over the years, is when you right-click on an NPC who is a quest giver and a NPC. It's not going to do it now because she has. I've already cleared the quest dialog, but it pops up a window that shows you the quest thing that you can interact with, or the merchant thing that you can interact with. In EverQuest 2, it always goes straight to the merchant screen, even if it's somebody who has a quest for you, and you have to then close the merchant screen, unless you just straight up use the H button to hail. So it's always been sort of annoying to me. Constantine says, selling lotro to play with some friends on the new Legendary servers after watching your videos. Pretty hyped. Is there a community Discord to ask newbie questions? I don't actually know if I don't actually know if Standing Stone Games has a Discord server for Lord of the Rings Online. That's a good question. If somebody in either the YouTube or Twitch chat wants to answer that, or knows more than I do on that front, feel free to let us know, and I will. If it's over on Twitch, I'll relay it to Constantine. By the way, he's on YouTube and he can see the YouTube chat. But I actually don't know the answer to that question. I just follow him on Twitter and have for years.
Alas for peaceful folk everywhere. It is an enormous task to convince them that evil people with evil intentions
will
commit evil deeds.
I love this line of dialogue. Evil people with evil intentions will commit evil deeds. This is one of the core elements of Tolkien that I have loved watching people debate in the Rings of Power community, because they tried to make the orcs seem less evil and more like we should have sympathy on the orcs and they're a community and all this other stuff. And it's like, yeah, but in Tolkien's world, it's very black and white. The orcs are evil. End of discussion. They have evil intentions because they're evil people and they're going to commit evil deeds. They don't have a choice in the matter. They are corrupted from Morgoth and through Morgoth into Sauron, into Saruman and beyond. Like, orcs are irredeemable. Like, you cannot have a good orc in the world of Middle-earth, in Tolkien's world. It's not possible because they all come from Morgoth. That's been a very interesting thing to see people conversing about. Young Gun says, love Lord of the Rings. I always wanted to try Lotro for a new player worth getting into 24. By the way, just came across your videos on YouTube. Great work. Long time WoW player and just getting bored of it. I mean, different people love different things. For me, I've played this game since it launched, so it's still my favorite MMORPG of all time. I don't actively play this game because I am also bored with it. World of Warcraft, I'm new to. I just started playing in November. So I'm very much, our community is focused on Warcraft and the War Within, which is launching in 2 weeks. That's our main jam as a community. I much prefer modern quality of life features. Like, I could play World of Warcraft fully on a controller. I lament the fact that I can't hear. I realize that some people say you could go through Steam and get partial controller support, but it's not the same thing as having native controller support like WoW does. I like cinematic cutscenes. I want fully voiced. I want fast travel everywhere. I want modern things. I want matchmaking and looking for raid and looking for dungeon. I want all of that. This game doesn't have that. What this game does have is a deep, rich story with amazing lore. It is Middle-earth personified. It is a really great game, but it's not meant to be played the same as like World of Warcraft. But I get it. You've played World of Warcraft forever. You're bored of World of Warcraft. You're coming here to try this. Get ready for a wild ride. Just understand that there's not the same amount of quality of life features, Young Guns. It's a great game, but it will play much different, a lot slower. Probably more like World of Warcraft Classic if you've played Classic recently. This will be more akin to that. Alright, it seems I cannot leave yet. Abner needs my help, and I have pressing work to do in Archer to get these people ready for the impending storm. If you help me, perhaps I can leave before tonight. Alright, we're going to take the ragged leather gloves because we are...
Before you try to fight, you must learn what skills you may from the trainer.
Alright, you've earned your first trait. We've got to choose a specialization now. And we need to talk to the hunter trainer. Multiple things just happened. So, to cover this, there are trait trees in Lord of the Rings Online. Every class has these. There's a blue line, a red line, and a yellow line. Generically speaking, red line is the DPS line, yellow line is the utility line, and blue line is something unique to your class. In this case, the blue line allows me to cast or to shoot my arrows on the fly. So I always go blue line because I like to play mobile. If you're going to play in a group where you're going to have a main tank who's tanking for you and keeping the focus of the mob, generally speaking, you'll want to go with red because that's going to allow you to do a ton of single target damage. And then if you're going to focus on traps and things of that nature, this is the AoE and trap control line. So this is just how do you want to spec your character. In this case, we're going blue line, so I'm going to choose this as spec 1. And we are going to go immediately with probably the general range damage increase. That's a good question. What do I go to after that? Improved intent concentration. Probably. I don't think it matters, but Yeah, let's do this one. Strong draw. We got a couple of abilities. Yeah, we'll put that there, that there. From the barbed arrow, this is the interrupt. All right. Meow. You heard a kitty cat in the background. Kitty cats are good, man. We have lots of cats. Nobody's in here right now. They'll probably come in a little bit because I think Chris is going out to help with some family stuff, which means I'll be on solo homestead duty. All right, we gotta go talk to the trainer.
Would you do something for me?
I'm here to help you become a more powerful hunter. As you gain levels, more skills will become available to you. Use the skill Penetrating Shot against a training dummy. Hunters have focus. If you've played other games where you have like an energy bar or something of that nature, it's similar. Certain abilities don't require anything and they build up your focus, and other abilities require focus. They're grayed out on the hotbar over here. Use Penetrating Shot. Now, Penetrating Shot is a grayed out ability because I don't have the focus yet, so I have to burn my initial abilities to earn focus. Eventually it will become red once, and then this radius thing right here, how it fills up in red around the top, that's your focus meter. Penetrating Shot. There we go. Once upon a time, you used to have to come to the trainer to learn your abilities. Once upon a time. I'm gonna take a dagger. And then we're gonna go into our inventory. And I'm gonna stop hitting B for inventory because I play World of Warcraft all the time. One of these days I'll stop. We're gonna switch out for this new bow. And we're also going to equip this new dagger here. Put this dagger over here. Alright, back into town.
Do you feel confident in what you have learned?
You are about to take on a most perilous task. If we fail, I fear that ruin will come to more towns than Archer alone. Black Rider has brought the influence of Angmar to our very doorstep, Renfail. Much is at stake this day. Are you ready to begin your great venture?
Under my poor old friend. A shadow has crept over him.
I don't know why I have the Red Dead Redemption music in my head.
A shadow has crept over him. The Black Rider that stabbed him is more fell than any creature you will meet in your travels. We have little time, and we must stretch what time we have by doing two things at once. Amday needs medicine, quickly. Do you know of a plant called Kingsfoil? It is a great flower to heal. You should ask Captain Brackenbrook if he knows of any that grow in these parts. Offer him assistance as well if it does not take you too far out of the way. We must begin to work on him. Perhaps he will look more kindly upon you after you do him a good deed.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
Kingsfoil, eh? Well, that's a leafy plant. Grows around Bronwyn's Folly. It's a ruin south of here. You can help yourself as much as you like. We've no use for it. As for your offer of assistance, I will take you up on it. We're always in need of able hands. You might be able to earn your keep while you stay with us. My best man, Calder Cobb, is having trouble with wolves of late. Perhaps you could help him on your way to do your gardening job for the ranger. Alright. And out the door we went. Oh, they still use the old maps for Archit.
Oh, that looks so weird. These are the new maps right here, guys. The old map style is... I feel like this is the old map style, isn't it? Trader's Wharf. Ooh, I haven't gone there yet. Thurney's work site. Yeah. It is a good game for a Fuffle. The Wildwood. This is all, I'm assuming, this is stuff I haven't seen yet. The Wildwood of Greenland. Ooh. See, I haven't played since before the Angmar expansion was the last time I played, so I haven't seen any of the new content that they've added. Obviously, it's probably all unlocked because that's part of the new expansion, but it's on the map anyway. Calder Cobb.
Well, well, if it isn't the rumour monger.
I've heard all about you, Renfail. As you can see for yourself, there aren't no brigands causing problems. It's the wolves. They've gathered around Bronwy's Folly, especially around the top of the ruins. Brockman sent you to assist me. Assist me you shall.
Alright, we're gonna go check out the wolf problem he's having. We need to complete a quest for him. And gather King's Flow. I may have to go get some more coffee. Pays to be a hunter. Oh, I need to turn the auto loot on. That's in the options. UI? I would like my character's name on. Oh, I need to turn roleplay on as well. Chat bubbles, yes, turn those on. Where's it at? Somewhere in here is a auto loot button. Always loot all. Thank you very much. That's what I was looking for. I might adjust the UI up a little bit as well. It feels a little small. Let's that might be too much. All right, let's just leave it alone for now. The UI scaling is something I'll go back and work on later on. I don't want us to get sidetracked too much while we're live streaming. Is this game only on PC? Yep. It's an older game. I think it's 16 or 17 years old now. So it's only on PC. Someone said earlier you could play it through Steam. I didn't realize that. And through Steam you could add controller support to it if you wanted to. It's definitely, it plays like an older, if you've played like World of Warcraft Classic or EverQuest 2, TLEs, it's going to feel a lot like an older MMO. It doesn't have a lot of quality of life features. It's still a good game though for Middle-earth and just good roleplay and good fun. It's got a great soundtrack. And it's got the best writing. To this day, I think it has the best writing of any MMORPG I've ever played. He's going up here to face the big baddie. We'll do the same. We're looking for the source of the evil. There's a strange banner at the top of the stairs here. Well, let's click it and let's see what happens. The Blackwall banner. The Wolfmaster approaches. Defeat him. Calder Cobb told me he'd be paying me a visit.
Be sorry for sticking your nose where you don't belong.
Oh, he threw some caltrops on the ground. We're going to back out of that. Oh, I've killed him. That was quick and easy. All right, we have 2 quest turn-ins. Excuse me. Let's head on back. If you are tuning in for the first time today, everybody, I'm multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch, so you can choose where you watch. Daily streams traditionally happen around 11 a.m. Central Time. We started a little bit early today. I've played a boatload of Lord of the Rings over the years. There's a playlist with hundreds of videos on my channel. There's also a playlist set up for this Angmar Legendary server. We're going to be dabbling a bit. The main stream game right now is No Man's Sky. We're taking a break from that today just to dive into this a little bit. We'll be back to No Man's Sky tomorrow. And we are currently working our way towards the War Within for World of Warcraft, which launches on 22nd. And then Star Wars Outlaws, which we're going to be playing as the main stream game on August 27th. But I am going to dabble a little bit. Y'all convinced me. I wasn't going to, and then that video I made the other day did like 35,000 views in like almost overnight. So I was like, oh, all right, I'll go play.
Like you
Then I did the class guide, and then I
Master?
did, yeah. We got like 50,000 views in the last like 48 hours from Lord of the Rings Online videos. So I was like, all right, apparently you guys want me to go back and play. I did get a lot of people like, why aren't you going to play until 2025? When are you going to update your guides? Your last guide was 2023. I was like, because I didn't plan on playing it this year. I'm also not playing Star Wars: Old Republic this year. I've been playing World of Warcraft this year. But you got me, guys. I subbed up. There's a video I published last night talking about my plans for Lord of the Rings Online. So if you want to know more, you can go check that video out. It's called I Lied About Lotro. My bad. Thought I wasn't gonna. Ended up gonna.
How is it that you stand before me? A weakling like you had defeated the Wolfmaster? I killed myself for that fool Dirk Mudbrook weren't here watching. No matter, I don't fear exposure. Brackenbrook will never believe you. He thinks I've served him loyally since I was but a lad, the old fool.
I think I forgot this guy's voice.
Impossible!
I did.
A weakling like you defeated the Wolfmaster?
Tell Brackenbrook whatever you like, but Archit will fall, and I'll make out with more gold than you could fathom. And you will die with the rest if you don't make yourself scarce before tonight.
Woo! I may need a drink for his voice. Return to Strider with King's Foil and your strange tale. King Maverick says, do we have to be the same race with my friend in order to start at the same area? For the initial level like 1 to 5, 1 to 7 area, yes. It's not exactly the same race. So I got to remember this properly. It's been a while. If I'm not mistaken, hobbits and men start here in Archit. Elves and dwarves start in Ered Luin. But then high elves have their own starting area. The what is the new dwarves they added? I can't remember the name of them right now. The stout something dwarves. It's the other race of dwarves. They have their own starting area. And yeah, we did start early, Redneck. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Redneck. I totally started like an hour early. I got home from my run. I had breakfast. Chris and I were sitting there. And I was like, I could just go live an hour early. And she's like, well, I got to do chores. So if you want to go do it, go for it. I was like, I'm going to go start an hour early. So anyway, high elves start in their own starting area. Bjornings have their own starting area. The independent dwarf race has their own starting area. I think the river hobbits have their own starting area, if I'm not mistaken. But then normal hobbits and humans come to Archit. Normal elves, and normal dwarves go to Ered Luin. So mostly they have their own starting areas, but a couple of them blend together. So men and halflings, etc. Yeah, it's going to be very casual tonight. I think, I talked about it last night. I think I said I can probably do, if it's daytime streams, it'll probably only be, there probably won't be very many daytime streams of Lord of the Rings Online after this one. We're capturing interest today. Beyond this, it'll probably be afternoon, evening streams, weather dependent. Like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central is usually when I do stuff outside of the main streams. Right now we're No Man's Sky for another couple of weeks, and then World of Warcraft for about a week, and then Star Wars Outlaws, and then after that we're doing Space Marine 2, and then after Space Marine 2, I don't know quite what the mainstream's going to be after that because that's late September. I'm waiting for a few other things to get announced at Gamescom because they're supposed to be getting announcements for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, Shattered Space DLC for Starfield, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So, but in between there, we'll dabble in some Lotro Legendary. And I jokingly raise a middle finger to everybody about this because I swore I wasn't going to do it, and here I am. So screw you all for tuning in and watching the videos because it's your fault. It's all your fault. I had no plans to do this.
Calder Cobb is a traitor. Danger has found you earlier than I predicted.
How did he know of you if he was at his post? And how did that Blackwald know you were coming? Thank you for the risk you took to deliver the King's foil. I will think upon this riddle while I prepare a salve for Amdir. I'll take the... I guess it's going to give me both.
I cannot decide which is more dangerous right now. Calder Cobb's treachery or the ignorance of Captain Brackenbrook.
You're welcome, Mavros. Yeah, I'm super excited too, Redneck. I think after Star Wars Outlaws, Indiana Jones might be my second most anticipated game of 2024. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, and I love all the films. I love the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. I've loved all the video games. We just played Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis last year in the spring as a Let's Play series here on YouTube. I think that was last spring or winter, something like that. But I do love me some Indiana Jones. All right.
I cannot decide what's more dangerous right now, Calder Cobb's treachery or the ignorance of Captain Brackenbrook. If Calder Cobb is his best soldier, I know Brackenbrook will not believe that he tried to have you ambushed by a Blackwald. I did some asking around while you were gone, and there was a Blackwald brigand in the stocks across the lane from here. He's being held for highway robbery. You should question him about Calder Cobb.
Uh-oh, my brother just posted on my TikTok video. I think my brother just realized I was playing Lord of the Rings on. So for those of you who have been around for a while, you know that I play this game. I played this game. This is the first MMORPG I introduced my brother to back when it was 2010. He had never played an MMO before, and I got him started on this game. And we almost always, every time we play in the wintertime, we either play Lord of the Rings Online or Star Wars: The Republic together, because I got him started on those two games. He has no time to game right now. They just moved into their new place, and they've got a massive ranch expansion going on. Man, play a Lotro without me. All right, we need to question Otto the Brigand. I do wish there was full controller support because I am spoiled by World of Warcraft being able to play with my controller. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I've got a keyboard on my lap. You know, it's not my favorite way to play with mouse and keyboard, but we'll make it work.
Oi, you there! Let me go! Calder Cobb can vouch for me!
Otto quiets down after you tell him you know of Calder Cobb's treachery.
So you think you know the plan? Don't be smug, it's too late. By now the gears of war be turning down in the south, and quick. Soon I'll be free and you'll be ones in shackles, or worse.
So he claimed his innocence until he found out that we knew the truth. Salty Hobby says, thanks for the YouTube video for new players. Always wanted to try Lotro. Should I do crafting while leveling? For some MMOs, the time investment isn't worth it. Oh, wow. That is a really, really good question. And I'm going to timestamp this because this is going to be a few minutes, everybody. We're gonna do a full explanation of that. And I'm going to timestamp this because this will get pulled out as its own YouTube video. Should you craft Lotro Legendary? We're going to timestamp this at 1:08 30. All right, so Salty Holly over on Twitch asked, should I do crafting while leveling? Thanks for the YouTube videos for new players. Always wanted to try lotro. For some MMOs, the time investment isn't worth it in terms of crafting. It's a very, very good question. So I'm going to sit back. We're going to put the keyboard up on the desk. I'm going to roll my chair back a little bit, put my feet up, and we're going to chat crafting, everybody. Because crafting is a huge endeavor in Lord of the Rings Online. If you were playing on a live server, my answer would be completely different. But if you're planning on playing on the legendary server, it is worth it. If you're playing on the live servers, I would say that crafting is a secondary thing you could do for fun and for cosmetics, especially if you look at things like woodworking, because you can make instruments for the bard or for the minstrel. So you can make a drum and a flute and a mandolin and all the different instruments. Or you can make cloaks as a leather worker. You can make armor. You can make weapons. It's great for alts, not really so big for mains on live servers. However, we are on the legendary server, which means it's level 1 to 50, and the expansion is Shadows of Angmar. It's not even an expansion, it's the launch version of the game from like 16 or so years ago, which is the Shadows of Angmar. In the Shadows of Angmar, the end game is Angmar, and there are raids that take place there if you're going to be a part of an in-game guild and raid. Because of the fact that this is a legendary server and you're not meant to be trying to, get up to level 130 or 40, whatever the cap is these days, it, in my mind, is definitely worth crafting if you're going to be making your own gear or if you're going to be making things that are selling well on the auction hall. As a general rule, mining is always going to get you a ton of coin because people are always after the silver and white gold and stuff to make jewelry, because jewelry is very, very important in terms of stats, especially when you get up to higher tiers for stuff that's out of like the Misty Mountains, which I think is like level 40, to get ready for the end game if you're going to be playing raiding. I mean, even if you're not going to be raiding, it's still important to craft because some of the best gear in the game can be found through crafting. The way crafting works, if you've never done crafting in this game, I don't currently have a craft profession, so I can't pull it up. But essentially, everybody can start off. You have basic recipes that you can, if you're a brand new player, you can just buy it for coin from the in-game currency on the merchants that are the crafters, like the tailor vendor or the woodworking vendor or the armor smith vendor. They have recipes. If you have lotro points, you can also go to the lotro store and use the lotro points to buy books as well that have all the recipes. There's base recipes, then there's crit versions of those recipes, and then there's rare dropped recipes that are in the game world. There's also well, that's just one side of it. I won't dive too much deeper into it than that. As far as weapons go, in the base version of the game, level 1 to 50, crafting is going to make some of the best weapons in the game. It's going to make some of the best jewelry in the game. It's going to make some of the best armor in the game. When they get to Moria, which is the first expansion, which comes months later on this server, you unlock legendary weapons, and at that point, you don't really need crafting to make the best weapons anymore, but high-end crafters can start making legendary weapons, which allows you to then fine-tune the stats you're going to want to get out of the legendary weapons that you would otherwise be getting from quests and drops. So if you're thinking ahead long-term, then yes, crafting is very, very important if you want to have the best gear at all times. It is very easy to have multiple... I have one of everything on the live servers. And I have 2 accounts. So I have my original account and I have a second account. When my wife plays with me, which isn't very often, but she does play lotro from time to time, even though she's not really a gamer, she loves Middle-earth. So I have a secondary account that she uses. I have crafters on both those accounts, and there's also something called the crafting guilds. I'm not sure how they're working on the legendary server because I just started here, so I'm not sure. I saw a post the other day that they might be bugged right now. By the way, thanks for the Twitch subscription, Mama Bird Yeti. Thank you so much for the support. There's also something called crafting guilds, which are things that you can earn after you get up around, I think it's around, I can't remember, it's like tier 3 maybe for crafting. At some point, as you level up your crafter, you will eventually get to the point where you can unlock access to the crafting guilds, which are specialized guilds for whatever profession you've chosen to pursue. So if you've pursued woodworking as an example, you would go with the Woodworker Guild, and that's going to teach you how to make advanced bow recipes, advanced wooden weapons like spears. You'll be able to make advanced weapons. You'll also be able to make advanced musical instruments, things of that nature. If you're a tailor, you'll be able to make advanced versions of things. Weapons, armor, all that stuff. So there's the base level of crafting, then there's the advanced level of crafting. And because it's level 50, 1 to 50 right now, everybody's in the same bracket. So it's very much worthwhile, if not for your own enjoyment and your own gear, to be crafting things that you can sell in the auction hall, as well as to be, if you just want to harvest, the extras that you don't need, you can sell in the auction hall. Now, again, I'm not deep enough into the game because we just started playing this morning as a fresh start character. When you eventually get to the point in the tutorial that it leads you to the crafting stations, the way the crafting system works, unless they've revamped it since the last time I played, which was about a year and a half ago, you choose a profession which has like one or two, it's like 3 things combined. It'll be like the yeoman is what it'll be called, and it'll be like you can do wood harvesting, you can tan hides, and you can make wooden weapons, as an example. If you're an armor smith, you can make armor, you can mine things, and you can do something else. If you're a farmer, you'll be able to like farm, cook, and by the way, holy shit, if you've never done cooking or farming in a game before, please do it in Lord of the Rings Online. My overall lotro playlist on this channel, which has a few hundred videos from over the years, I have a whole section dedicated to farming, because farming in this game is really cool because you can farm huge fields of land. You can do so many different kinds of crops. You can make food. You can make ale. You can make meat. You can make pipeweed. Pipeweed has emotes, just like in the films. So if you want to blow cool smoke emotes, you're going to want to get into farming because you'll be able to make pipeweed. And then there's all the different types of foods, the ingredients that you can make to use to cook. And the Shire is a great place to do that. I don't want to get too sidetracked on that. And then Esseldin is a Dunedain outpost where you'll be doing a lot of like woodworking and crafting stuff if you're into hides and stuff. And then of course there's the Breetown crafting hall, etc. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in chat. I'll get to everybody as quickly as I can, but I wanted to answer this crafting question because it's a really good question. So I've been rambling for a few minutes. The short version, yes, it is absolutely worthwhile to do crafting on the legendary server. Not so much live. Live, it's mostly just for fluff and for cosmetics. Here, though, because you're still going through the early tiers, the food buffs you get from food are hugely important in terms of regen and stats. So if you wanted to make a cook to make the foods that you're going to want to get the extra stats for your character, do that option. Do you want to make swords for your character? Go that option. Do you want to make weapons or armor? Go that option. Do you want to make bows for your character? You can't do everything on one character. You can only pick one profession, which is why anybody who plays this game long term, like myself, will have alts of all different types so that you can have one of each profession on all of your alts, and you can cover all of the crafting needs that you would ever have by yourself. Or you can, if you could find a guild, then you can rely on guild crafters. There are lots of things to craft. And the other thing about this is also in terms of gear, because if you missed the part of this video earlier where I said save everything you get from quests and drops, because everything in this game is a cosmetic item. Every single thing you have in this game can be a cosmetic item. Crafted gear is the same thing. Everything you craft is unique, and I can't show it right now because I don't have crafting yet. But as an example, when you get higher up in levels with like armor smithing, you'll have like a breastplate recipe. But then you'll look at it and it'll have like 3 different versions that you can craft. The human version, the dwarf version, and the elf version. So you have 3 different cosmetic types that you can choose from for the gear sets as you're crafting them as you level up. So like the level 20 gear set you can choose, I want to have a dwarf I want a set that looks like it was created by dwarves. I want a set that looks like it was created by elves. I want a set that looks like it was crafted by men. So if you're gonna go crafting, crafting is a massive, 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 massive undertaking. And in the legendary server, it can be very important. It's not just fluff like it is in the live servers. But understand that it is a whole nother. I mean, if you only have 10 hours a week to play, it's gonna be really hard to play the game and craft and harvest and everything else because it's all consuming. Like you can lose your life in this game, which I have done many times over the years. I love crafting in this game. If I were to pursue it with this character, I'd probably go overall stats. I'd probably go leatherworking to make, because the bow I can get good bows off the broker. I would probably go with leatherworking because you'll get overall more stats from making your own gear. But the other thing to consider is that the epic book quests, if you're doing them, that gives very, very good gear. And in Angmar in particular, which is the level 50 stuff, you'll get a gear set there, which I think is a 5-piece set. It's been a long time since I played Angmar. I think it's like a 5-piece set, and each class gets their own set. And that gives a combined set bonus, which ends up being a little bit better than what you can craft. But that's like what you want to get right before you go do raiding, if you're going to do raiding. Otherwise, crafted gear is like the best in the game outside of like doing high-end stuff. So those are all considerations for should you go and do crafting in Lord of the Rings Online on the Legendary server. And if you're watching this after the fact, this is a clipped out video from the stream. We're going to keep going on, but for those of you who are watching this afterwards on YouTube, this is the point where I say like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams here and on Twitch at 11 a.m. Central Time. And if you're watching live, you already know that because you're watching in one of these places. And that time stamped at 1:20. Great question. Let me get to what else has been asked, and then we'll get back to playing here. Dun, 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 dun. Mixo says, I don't know what to play. I made a dwarf champion, but I want to have high elf character in heavy armor, but I don't know if making 2 champions is a good idea. It's fine. If you like the champion, go for it, because you can have one spec to do AoEs, and you can have another spec to do single target damage, so you can have 2 different types of champions. Nothing wrong with that. My option would be to create a guardian and a champion, and then you have one of each, because the guardian can do some really cool AoE stuff in the red line. It's not going to be as DPS-y as a champion, but it's still pretty fun. Ralph says, which hunter line are you building? Blue line. I go blue line every time because I solo. So I want the mobility of being able to shoot my arrows on the fly. If you're playing in a group, I recommend the red line, just because it's like max DPS. But you cannot move while you're shooting stationary, unless they've changed it since the last time I played. Falcon says, these days you choose things like cooking prospector, etc., rather than having groups of 3. I'll go check it out in a little bit and see what that's like. That's interesting if they've made that change to crafting. Thanks for the sub on Twitch, Young Gun. Mama said, just returned to the game yesterday to the new server and went to train my crafting and had GPG's pick. Oh, so it wasn't 3 like before? You got Forester and Scholar Cook. All right, so we'll check it out in a bit. I'm sure someone, because I've already recorded that section of the video, I'll need to continue this, because someone will call me out on that and be like, that's not the way it actually is. So we're not going to cut that off at 120. We'll keep going. I'll go check that out in a bit, because we'll get to the crafting section here in a bit. You get to choose 3 and can choose a 4th with lotro points. Very cool. Venga says, just wanted to say thanks for all the amazing videos on YouTube. Welcome. Are the legendary servers an extra sub if you have a lifetime account? I don't know. Probably. I don't know the answer to that question though. I'm not on a lifetime account though. Ferrero says, just found your YouTube channel. You're over on Twitch now. Greetings from Argentina. Saludos. Espero que todo esté bien. Y por los restos de ustedes que hablan español, bienvenidos. Seka says, new player here. Could you give me a recommendation for spec to Runekeeper? No. Just pick what you want to do, man. You can either be a healer or a DPS. It's pretty simple. So just make a choice. As far as the traits go, I mean, it really is personal style. You can go lightning, you can go fire, just kind of what you want to do. I don't, it's all the same at the end of the day. Or if you want to go heals, it just puts it if you're grouping by yourself. If you're grouping with others or playing by yourself. Rolf says moving around sounds very nice while shooting. I prefer the mobile route, but again, I play solo, so I don't do groups very often. Mara says, I had a couple of questions. I like to do questing. Do any of the servers have a level scaling? Nope. No level scaling. Is solo viable in any particular server type? I answered that question in last night's video, but I will answer it briefly here. But for a greater overview, you can check out, I have a video yesterday morning actually called What's the Best Class for New Players on the Progression Servers? And the greater answer to that question is in that video. It's like a 15-minute video or something talking about it. Every class can solo. They all solo equally well. Just pick what you think is going to be fun for you. You'll be fine. Group content in this game is optional. It's not mandatory forced grouping. So every class can solo. Don't worry about it. That's the short answer. The longer answer is in that video. Would I suggest Warden or Guardian? Guardian. I don't like the Warden because it's too much button mashing. It's all combos. Well, we're going to have to get to the crafting stuff here in a bit so that I can check that out. Because I haven't seen... Again, I haven't played about a year and a half, so I haven't seen those changes. So that video I said I was going to clip out earlier, I'm not going to clip out because I'm totally going to have to actually go get myself up to speed with the new crafting stuff because I did not know that was a thing.
What can I do for you?
It's good to make your acquaintance, Renfail. I noticed you were questioning Otto. Does that mean his mutterings have been truthful? I do believe what you've come to Archer to tell. It's unprecedented, but all the signs are showing that the Blackwalds mean to attack us. Somebody just shut off some fireworks somewhere. How is it that they have the means? If Brockenbrook does not believe you, tell him that I do, for what it's worth. Ned Pruner agrees that Archer is in peril.
How can you say this?
That's a serious charge,
Cobb has
Renfail.
been loyal to me since he was a boy.
Well, he ain't so loyal no more, sir.
I suppose it would be wise to investigate your claim.
It would be wise, sir.
Does Ned speak true of the prisoner? If so, it would be wise to investigate the threat of trouble in the south. I'll not question Connor Cobb's lifetime of loyalty if there's no truth to back it up. But if you and Ned are right in your suspicion, this would be a very bad situation for us. House Brickley's farm is to the south of here, near the gate to the town of Combe. If aught's going on, he'll know.
Alright. Oh, and this is when we get... Alright. Remember how earlier I was talking about how there's two different types of quests in this game? There's the book quests, and then there's world quests or zone quests. These are what you would call zone quests. They're differentiated between a normal ring icon and the other ones have like a big flaming orange ring. You'll see the difference here in a bit.
Since last night.
And also when you turn in, they have a different one. So these are generic quests. I don't really read the dialogue for these because they're generic quests. It's like collect some bilberries for the medicinal tea to heal Amdir. This one he wants you to get some boar meat. If we go to your quest journal, they're actually differentiated later on. Not right now because we're still in the introduction, but later on they'll be differentiated between book quest and then they'll have the name of the zone that you're in. You'll see it here in a bit. We're going to get through the intro today and into the real world at some point. Farvaro says, I'm thinking to start to play this or some WoW version, but can't decide. I play them all. I do. I know that that's not realistic for most people because I do this for a job. So if you had to pick, I would say if you love Lord of the Rings Online and you can handle the fact that this is an old game that's lacking a lot of quality of life features, then play this. If you want something that's more modern tech, modern engineering, quality of life features, you can play it with the controller, better graphics, better group making, instant matchmaking, all that stuff, then go play World of Warcraft. They're both great games. They're both fun games. The War Within expansion is launching in 2 weeks. Our whole guild is prepped and ready for it. We're going to have a blast. That's going to be my main stream game for a little bit at least until Star Wars Outlaws kicks off. So either way, you're not going to lose out. They're both great games. Oops, I don't need to set traps. Do that. All right, I need tea, boars, and talk to cow. There's a piglet. Here, piggy, piggy, piggy. Wee, wee, wee.
Bacon for dinner tonight.
So this is why I love the blue line. I can run around and shoot while I'm moving. I don't do as much DPS as the red line. Later on I'll get precision stance, which is really cool. Unless they've changed the way hunters work. I haven't played in a while. I don't know. Okay. Bring Mundo his lunch of fresh boar meat. Where the hell are the bilberries? Oh, they're by the river. I remember this. And the farmer's going to send me over to look for one of his buddies, if I remember correctly. Never saw your question, Duffs. So, nope.
A stranger, eh? You're the best thing that's happened to us all day. Our best hope is to get help from Cone, our neighbors. They will not let our Chet fall to brigands.
Alright, let's move some of these abilities around. I can probably get rid of these pet abilities. I'm never going to use them. Alright,
Glad you're here. Some Blackwolves tried to attack us this morning, but we drove them off. Oh, we must get help from Combe, the next town over. It's southwest of here, and not more than a short journey away. They must bring their soldiers to Archer at once to help stave off the raid. Please make haste. I fear the Blackwolves mean to attack tonight. The road here is crawling with brigands, but I pray you can make it safe to Combe.
and then Will Wheatley.
Might I take a moment of your time?
My dad's and the other farmhands, they gave chase to the brigands. Go search for my friends.
I don't know if that's really his voice. I'm just... Why not? You know what? I totally forgot that I have a mount I could be running around on because we got sidetracked. So let me get rid of all these cosmetic things. Where's the mount bar? C? It's been a while since I've played. I can't remember where to find mounts at. It's K. That's what it is. Okay. We're gonna go with my... Nope, it's not the one I want. I think it's the Steed of the Eldar, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's not that one either. It's the Steed of the Eldar. Yep. Oh, and I lost the icon. Drag it down over here. There we go. I completely forgot I had mounts. Or had a mount. Alright, so we're looking for bodies along the edge here. We're looking for his buddies. He's been murdered by Blackwolves. I think those things along the river that I'm supposed to harvest for the good. Ooh, there's Old Blood Tusk. Ooh, can I take him? We're about to find out. So see how he has a different colored icon? It's like because he's like a signature mob, so he's a little tougher. Sometimes might have a rare piece of something on him. Here's the bilberry bush. What's up, Chris? You want to come say hi, or are you just dropping in for the kitties? You want to come say hi, Frodo? You want to say hi? No.
Estoy greñuda, no me voy.
Is he gonna go to sleep? Did he eat anything? Is Spiegel still outside? By the way, this is how much we love Lord of the Rings Online in our house. All of our cats, almost all of our cats, are named after the hobbits. We have Frodo, Merry Pippin. Well, we had Sam. Sam passed. We have Smeagol. Here's Frodo right here. Do you want to come here and say hi, Frodo? Did you want to come and say hi? Come and say hi to the stream. And Pippin, as well, is my baby cat. And then we have Luke and Leia. We have a lot of cats. Oh, you big boy. You're gonna eat the microphone to say hi. Oh, and Blanca-Nieve, which is Snow White. She's a rescue cat. And Dora the Explorador, who's the mom of all these hobbit cats. Are you ready for sleeping? You ready for your nap? This is if you're new. If you're not new, you guys know these cats. They're on stream every day. Some of them are. Duff said just watched your latest video, saw you went with the hunter, not the burglar. Any reason? Yeah, the vote. Everybody on the YouTube vote, it was like 40%. 40% wanted me to play the hunter, and only like 30% or 13% wanted to do the burglar. So I went with the hunter. I've played the hunter a bunch. It's my favorite class in the game. It doesn't hurt my feelings to play the hunter. Permeist says, what's one thing you think is a good bang for the buck in the Lotro store? Inventory slots. Buy all of your inventory slots as quickly as possible. So when you first start the game, this bag 1 only has like maybe 3 or 4 rows. All of these extra rows I bought through the Lotro over the years. So focus on inventory slots first before anything else. Once you have all your inventory slots, you can start doing stuff like, oh, I'm on my 5th character and I don't want to have to grind out crafting again. Let me just go buy all the recipes. Like, that's what I used. Oh, here's another one. I need to do this right now, actually. We could show this on stream. I'm glad you... Yes, that's the one I was just saying, Bobbertoast, was the Universal Toolkit. That was the one I was just about to show off live. So number 1 is the inventory slots. Number 2 is the Universal Toolkit, and I can't remember if it's just called... Oops. Does it show me... It's the Enduring one, right? This is the better one. There's 2 versions. Or there used to be 2 versions. Yeah, see, there's the Universal Toolkit for 150 coins, or you can get the Enduring Universal Toolkit for 450. Does it not show you the stats anymore if you hover over? That's unfortunate. I'm totally buying this, though. By the way, you only have to have 1. You can share it between your characters, so if you're done using it with 1 character, you can pass this off to your other character. The reason you want this, if you're going to do crafting normally, you would need a different tool for every type of crafting, but the Universal Toolkit does everything. So it's all crafting tools, all harvesting tools combined into one thing. So if you hover over it, it's a woodworker. Let's see here. It's a cook tool, a jeweler tool, a metalsmith tool, a scholar tool, a tailor tool, a weaponsmith tool, a woodworker tool, a farmer tool, a forester tool, a prospector tool, and a scholar tool. It is all tools. It's a multi-use tool for harvesting and crafting. So highly recommend this after you unlock your inventory slots. That's another great question. Hang on, I'm jotting that down as a note because I'm gonna go make a video on that. That's a great Q&A. Ellen Ritter says, thanks for your latest vids. I've been playing Star Wars Age of the Republic, really wanted to get into Lotro. I'm a WoW refugee. Hey, Star Wars Age of the Republic's a great game too. Don't shy away from that. If you're deep into Star Wars Age of the Republic, that's totally worth it. I've got another playlist with a few hundred videos of Star Wars Age of the Republic too. Rip says, damn it, I see someone play Lotro and I have to install and play it again. Too many games, not enough time. Somebody said something about, hey, Frodo, come here. If you're not going to go to bed, I'm going to put you out. You're not supposed to be over there scratching my yoga mat. I multi-stream, guys, so if you get ads when you're watching on Twitch, consider that the cost of admission, guys. Somebody just said something about ads, and that's how I make a living. But I do multi-stream, so I don't pause the chat when there's an ad. I realize that could be an inconvenience for people on Twitch, but that's also a perfect point for me to say that's why you pony up and sub, because then you don't get ads. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Let's see here. Farfuffle says Minstrel's probably not a wise choice if you're streaming due to the constant streaming. You could turn that stuff down, Farfuffle. It's the I think it's the combat music. It's the same thing where they do all the shouts and everything. I turn that stuff way down when I play my Minstrel. I've got plenty of videos where I've streamed the Minstrel in the past with my brother. Ellen Ritter says I'm finishing the Sith Warrior questline. Dude, the end of that is really cool. My Juggernaut, I got a whole playlist for the Juggernaut from like I think that was maybe 3 years ago, like 3 winters ago I did that. Last year we did the Scoundrel again for the 3rd time, I think. I love the Scoundrel storyline in Star Wars Republic. And we did at the end of 2022 we did the Imperial Agent and the Sith Juggernaut, and then I did the Scoundrel for the 3rd time in early 2023. Haven't played it this year though. All right, hang on, guys. I gotta put Frodo out because he's being naughty. All right, I put him out because he's being naughty, clawing it back of my chair and the yoga mat and everything. Let me move this a little bit. I am gonna sit at the desk for a bit, so I gotta move the camera stuff over. That's not bad. I get so used to sitting back with the controller, I don't actually pull up here and sit at the desk too often. Plus, I don't have this camera isn't set up to like accommodate me being like right up in it. I probably should just push everything back. I probably should if I'm going to accommodate this. All right, anyway, answered that question. Close all that down. We found one of the farm hands. Let's get the bilberry bush here. If I can get it to click. I'm missing a bilberry bush here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I see it. Hey, pig, piggy, pig, piggy, pig. You love the background and the music in this area. It brings back memories. The whole game's got an amazing soundtrack for sure. All right, we still need to find Walt Wheatley. I think we're probably gonna have to fight our way through some black wolves, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, they totally attack. Oh, really? This game has some really awesome tavern music too. The combat music's pretty good too. It can get a little, you know, if you've heard all the tracks 50 times, sometimes it can get a little old, but I mean, it's still great music. Alright, Walt Wheatley has been murdered by Blackwald. So unfortunately, all 3 of those guys fell to the Blackwald. So we have some sad news to report back. I could probably turn the music up a little bit. I had adjusted all the sound down earlier so that we could hear the voiceovers a little bit better. That's better. Let's do 80%. That should be fine.
What can I do for you?
My poor father and the others. No.
Alright, we're going to take the honed dagger. I'm sticking with daggers on this character for the moment. Young Ed said we'll probably play this to the World Within watches. Nothing wrong with that. Plenty of stuff to see and do for the next couple of weeks. I need to equip this, by the way. My Universal Toolkit. And move this one over here. And now we're going to go to Combe to plead aid against the Blackwald threat. By the way, thanks for correcting me, guys, on the crafting stuff, because I have not seen any of the updates that have happened since Umbral launched or anything. So we'll definitely be checking out that crafting here in a little bit. We're about to wrap up. Well, we're not. I guess I shouldn't say that. There's still quite a bit to go. The gate is blocked. Archit is on its own. We will be getting, hopefully we should be able to get to the crafting in this stream. Surely we can get to there by this stream. I did my favorite MMORPG soundtrack video probably 3 or 4 years ago, and Lotro is in there at like, I can't remember if it was number 1 on my list or number 2. I think it was number 1. I'd have to go back and look at the video. But the soundtrack for this game
cannot
is
be. I must write to Brackenbrook at once.
All right, here's a note for Brackenbrook. We got to give a letter of warning to Brackenbrook. We can actually go in our inventory if I quit hitting B.
Dear Captain Brackenbrook, my farm was attacked by Blackwalds this morning. They're organized and they are armed. I had a few of my men manage to stave them off, but something dark is stirring in a way I've never seen. They've cut off the road to Combe. We can't get out, and no help can come in. Please make yourself ready for all-out war. These are not the ruffians we know.
In other words,
shit's going down.
And the other thing too, guys, if you're watching this and playing this for the very first time, I would urge you to go check out, whether they're my videos or somebody else's videos, go check out Rohan. Go check out the Rohan videos, the Gondor videos. The world building for this game has matured so much since this, which was years and years and years ago. This doesn't look bad. It definitely looks older. But the newer stuff, like if you go play the High Elf starting zone, go to Yondershire on the live server. Like the Yondershire starting area came, I think, 2 years ago. It's like a level 20 area for the outside of the Shire. There's also like, don't the River Hobbits have their own starting area now? There's also Umbar. Like Gondor is amazing. All the world building has definitely gotten much better. The assets have gotten much better. This part definitely feels like a 15-year-old MMORPG. Still looks good. They've done a good job updating the DX
This
stuff
will
over
do
the
nicely.
years. By the way, I'm
Gives
not
me something to
gonna
munch on
read
for a
these
bit,
quests. I've
at
done these
least.
a million times, and it's just general stuff to like
Lovely. This is sure to cheer on dear
get a couple
Ryder.
of rings.
This
She
tea
wants
will
me to
help
give some
Omdir
tea.
feel better. I just know it.
Give some tea to Omdir.
I thank you, but I have not the stomach to drink this now.
So he doesn't want any tea.
Did my tea perk him up? I knew it would.
Alright, so that gave us a couple of rings. Jesus, I can't stop with the B button. We got our first food on use, 3 agility for 20 minutes. Let's pop some of that. It's, yeah, Ripner, it's in the title, man. You should check out the title of the stream. That'll answer your question. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. As Brackenbrook reads the letter, his face is blank. Herpaderpy! It's all good. Yes, this is a legendary server. It's the new server that it's one of the 2 that just opened up recently. A month ago? A couple weeks ago? This is the Angmar server. This is the North American one, and then Mordor is the European one. Ragged leather trousers.
You cannot fathom just how wrong I have been.
Oh, so he just realized that he put his faith in the wrong man.
I've trusted Calder Cobb and heeded his advice for a long time, even after my own son tried to warn me of his duplicity. My son John is a worthy hunter, but he has not set foot in this town for over 3 years, and he will never forgive me for the things I said to him. Ah, what a fool I am! I told him he was not welcome in Archett until he stopped behaving like a jealous child. Now he and his hunters are our only hope. But what can I do? He does not deserve to be dragged deeper into my folly. Nay, Archett must withstand this storm without help.
Brackenbrook is hopeless. You should ask Strider what to do.
Do not despair. You have done well.
You have earned Captain Brackenbrook's trust, which is more than I could have done. You must appeal to his son John against his wishes. I must leave soon, and Archett will need all the help it can get, even if a brother's pride is at stake. I am confident you will be able to bring the hunters in and give this town a fighting chance. In the meantime, I must make haste. Amdir assures me he is just needing rest. Alright, we must appeal to John Brackenbrook against his father's wishes. We're gonna ride down the road. Oh, you would struggle bus with this game. There's so many walls of texts. This is a huge reading game. There's not a lot that's voiced. At least not until Rohan. Rohan does a good job of having like main cutscenes get voiced by like Theoden, Gandalf, Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, but only the main cutscenes. Otherwise, you're just reading walls of text. Alright. Is the queen up? I think somebody just took her out. Yep. We'll check on the way back. If I remember correctly, that's an extra quest turn in for the queen. I don't know if the dream quest is here because we're on a legendary server. Alright, this is John Brackenbrook. Brackenbrook. Available quests, a little extra, never heard. Oh, that's for the Lotro store. I already have that, so I'm going to decline. Exile
I presume
Hunter.
you're here to bring me ill news from town.
I've been watching from the biomes. The skies have turned dark and fell, and there's a shadow of unrest over all of Archett, over men and beasts and trees alike. Let me guess. My father has not the wisdom to observe such things as you heard of his exiled son and came to me for aid. Come then, out with it. I desire to hear what you have to tell.
Alright, we're gonna get some shoulder pads.
Calder Cobb has shown his true colors at last.
Mixo says, to get more slots, the only way is to spend money. Nope, you don't have to spend money. You spend lotro coins. Lotro coins are earned through gameplay. You can spend money on lotro coins if you would like to buy them with real cash, but you can earn lotro coins by playing the game, by completing deeds, and etc. So as you play through the game, you earn lotro coins, and you can spend those in the lotro coin store to purchase things like inventory slots. But yes, all inventory slots are tied to the lotro coin store. We've already come across some of the main characters, Young Guns. We've been working with Strider for like the last 2 hours. And it might have been before you got here to the stream too, but I did talk about that at the beginning of the stream. The main story of this game is told through what's called epic book quests. They're broken down into books and chapters, and for the most part, you're following along in the footsteps of the Fellowship, working with members. So you'll work with Strider, Gandalf, Legolas, Gimli, Merry, Pippin, Sam, Frodo, and then you'll start to work with the Dunedain, like in Mirkwood. And you'll go to Lothlorien, you'll be working with Galadriel and her elves. You'll be in Moria working with the dwarves. You'll be meeting all sorts of cool dwarf characters, and yeah, there's all. No, don't worry. You're good. You're good. It's definitely the main thing though is to remember that the way this game works is that it works like a traditional MMORPG in that there's zones with quests. And those are just sort of like general fantasy related, but it's steeped in Tolkien lore. But it's your typical go kill X mobs, gather these things, do these things, etc. The book quests have you working directly with the Fellowship of the Ring characters. And in this particular version of the game where we're in Angmar, there's a whole quest line with, I don't want to spoil it, but once you reach Rivendell, you'll do some questing in the Misty Mountains, and then after that you're going to branch off and do something that's a little bit separate from the Fellowship's journey. But it does tie into ring lore and the rings of Middle-earth and the story of Sauron and the Witch King of Angmar and a bunch of other stuff. I'm trying not to spoil anything. The storyline for Shadows of Angmar is really, 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 really good, and it's really long. It's soloable 100% if you want to, or you could do it with friends because there are dungeons associated with it, but you can do those dungeons by yourself. It's great fun. Alright, so Calder Cobb has shown his true colors at my last. I knew him to be evil-hearted, but my father's too trusting. Yes, I will come to Archit's aid, I and my fellows. I am a hunter and skilled warrior trained by my father and captain, and I would rather die than sit idly by while foul brigands crash upon a decent people. Let us see what there is to see before the storm is upon us. While I gather my warriors and my weapons, you should sneak into the Blackwolves' roost and uncover their plan of attack for tonight. We're going to get a hat from this quest. Oh wow, so this is a quest that has been restored for the legendary server. If Archer is to survive the Blackwolves' attack, they must have time to better prepare their defenses. We must give them that time. The Black Wolves have established an encampment on the mountains to the south, which some call the Roost. Go there and distract the Black Wolves. That's cool. So this is a quest that's not on the live servers anymore, but they've restored it for the legendary server. This is something that used to be in the game when the game went live, and they got rid of it over the years. Young Guns is subbing up. Have fun. It's a good game. Oh, there's the queen. Let's get her. Ooh, she's going to evade a little bit. Oh, she's level 7. I might get my booty kicked. Woo! Alright, that gave us a quest item. Right? This quest has also been restored for the legendary servers. Nice! The markings of the Marshfly Queen are unlike any you've seen before. Surely somewhere at the Hunter's Lodge. Would care to look at this if we could run back really quick. I'm so happy that quest. I missed this quest to kill the Marsh Queen. Fenton Marshley. The guy over here is collecting body parts and dead wolves. Oh, he's got a separate quest too.
Greetings. Stay a moment.
Oh, this quest has also been restored. This is cool. I haven't seen these quests in a long time. Oh yeah, there's some great stuff on the in the cartel store for Lord of the Rings Online. I've spent way too much money on both of these games in terms of cosmetics. I don't keep subs running, but anytime I go to play, I usually play in 3-month blocks and sub up for a few months. And the nice thing about Star Wars: The Republic is if you have the app on your phone for the 2-factor authentication, you get points every month. So even if I don't play for like a year and a half, I come back and I'll have racked up a whole ton of points. Alright, we need a few more of those marsh flies, which we can get on the way through. I don't need the queen again. Hopefully she's not going to attack me.
What do they eat when they can't eat hobbits?
That's how I feel every time I run through the marshes, man. Swamp critters, gonna get you. There's probably more down the river. Let's check. Nope. But we do need to go in here because we gotta get the note. We gotta go inside to get the information about the raid. Alright, it's over there. Am I getting hit by the wolf if I go? Not if I hurry. Go, 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 go! Grab it, grab it! Alright, we just need 3 more marsh flies. Oh, the wolf's right there. Get him on the way out. Alright, 3 more bugs. Mama Bird says, got to level 12 and a wraith squished me. No undying tile for me. Yeah, the wraiths are an interesting new addition because I've never. That's a brand new event. I haven't even read up on it enough to understand how it works. I probably should. I know there's something to do with like there's rings that players can collect and it's random who has them on the server, and there's something related to the ring wraiths can appear, and there's like different versions of the ring wraiths. Some require a bunch of people to take down, like a raid boss. I haven't really dug into all the intricacies of how the ring wraith event is working. Well, the one thing I can say, there's been a lot of questions asked about this, and I can answer it right now, because I have characters on Landroval and Laurelin, and one of the things we've all bitched about has been lag, server lag, right? There is no lag on these new 64-bit servers. This plays flawlessly. Oh, this is so cool. Like, definitely, I love the fact that they said, hey, we're starting with the, these legendary servers, and then we're going to be moving out from there. And updating other servers. So starting here, there's anybody who has questions. Legendary server, 0 server lag, 0 hiccuping. It's amazing. Like, they need to move all of their tech to the 64-bit servers. I understand they have a schedule. The patch notes have schedules. There's been some announcements about it. This is great, because the free servers definitely have a little bit of server lag to them.
What do you need?
Yeah, but server crashes are separate from... That's more of a population issue. Okay, there's that quest completed. An Erudite Adventure says someday maybe I'll have time to play some games again. It happens. Life gets busy. Blackwold's Roost. I'm going to get this helmet. We're going to put this helmet on. And we're going to immediately turn the visuals off, because I do not want to be running around with that hideous thing. So we can go to the cosmetics and turn the helm off, please. Thank you very much. Yep, that's exactly. Yep, when it crashes because there's too many people playing, that's a good sign.
Good work, my friend.
Wait, did I get 2 versions of that?
For us yet. We only need a strategy.
How did that work? I guess that's why, because they're legacy quests. So you're getting duplicates of like the dye and everything else. Okay. Can we just turn this in? I don't need the... Yeah, I have a trait barring that action, so. But I did get the, didn't I get the little mount? Yeah, I got the mount that you get for like an extra hour or whatever. I can get rid of this. I already have that. Oh, I need to talk to Atli the Spiderbane.
Greetings, traveler.
Oi, I know about the old East Path. There's spiders everywhere. When you kill one, another takes its place. For to make use of the path at all, we should fight our way through and ensure it's blocked at the walls of Archet. Them spiders will do some work for us against the Black Wolves. And what the spiders don't deal with, will come from afar and behind with our axes and our blades, and we'll fall upon them like a mighty cave coming down. I need a frickin' drink if I'm gonna do dwarves. I'm sorry for the coughing, everybody. This is what I get for streaming. I've been streaming like 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day. Normally I only stream for like 3 hours a day. The last 3 days we've been just really going hard at it because we've had a bunch of stuff popping up between No Man's Sky and here. And so I think yesterday I recorded like 12 videos plus we streamed. I told Chris I feel like I've been at a conference for like the last 3 days. Because whenever you go to a conference, all you do is just like talk nonstop for 72 hours. I already have horsies though. I'm not worried about it. Perma says the ring wraiths are world bosses that randomly spawn, have a buff that makes them sort of unkillable, but if anyone with a player with the ring of power attacks the wraith, they remove the buff. Nice. Alright, we
Should just be able to run through here now. Just to see if the wall is still intact, because these spiders don't aggro. Commercial break, everybody. If you're watching for first time, don't forget we multi-stream every single day at 11 a.m. Central. Sometimes in the late afternoons as well. We'll do a secondary stream. Usually for about 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours each time on YouTube and Twitch. So if you happen to be watching on Twitch for this particular live stream, the day-to-day happens over on YouTube. As a general rule, we publish videos on the hour, every hour, from 6 a.m. Central until about 9 or 10 p.m. Central. It kind of just depends on my schedule, but I do this full-time. I've been full-time for 2.5 years, going on 3 years now. Play a lot of different games. It's a variety channel. Mostly I play newer games. We play a lot of PS5, a lot of Series X. Coming up right now, we're getting ready to go into the World of Warcraft, The War Within on the 22nd. And then on the 27th is Star Wars Outlaws. Then after that is Space Marine 2. Then we've got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Stalker 2, and probably the Rogue Trader DLC if I could find time to squeeze it in there. Those are the games this year. And then next year we've got Avowed, Fable, Grand Theft Auto 6, and who knows what else. Thanks, Rip, for the subscription over on Twitch. For those of you who want to support, thanks to those of you who can and do. Keeps me on the air full time. Bits, cheers, and subs on Twitch, super chats, and memberships on YouTube. And if you're a member on YouTube, we've got member videos. The last one was 4 or 5 days ago.
A dead end will surely work in our favor.
I usually do a couple a week. And there's a Patreon if you want to get involved with my work as a sci-fi and fantasy author. There's also links if you want to get my latest books. Alright, he's going to go to Archit and rally them. My hunters have come from behind with a soldier's attack at the head. Quickly, Calder Cobb is making his move against Archit, and the wicked men of Angmar are lending him and the Black Wolf's strength. We must go to the town's defense at once. Return to me when you are prepared. You have just received the final quest in the Introduction Quest series. Make sure you've completed all the things you want done, because otherwise you're going to be kicked out. Warning you once again.
John Brackenbrook and his hunters have reached the outskirts of Archit to find it already ablaze. A desperate struggle to save their village is about to begin. Hopefully, you have arrived in time.
They've spotted us. We must move now.
We have no time to lose.
Already the town burns. We've only a short time to rest here before they see that we have broken through the east wall. I fear we're less safe for the moment. We must help my father. Lick that.
Oh, I
We must save
didn't
Ned.
catch. He said, like the heel of my boot, turnkey, I think is what he said. Otto the Brigand, he was in the stocks earlier. Peg, where are you, Peg? I cannot see.
I'm just close by. He escaped the slaughter of the badger. You have to help him. Defend the badger. Those Blackwolves want the hobbit and the captain. I saw something in the flames go after them. You must save them.
Yeah, I've got the most recent ones in print as well as digital, Erudite. We've got a paperback, hardback, digital. The sci-fi anthology is I think digital only, and then the first Saga Lucimi book's digital only. And then our Table Talk RPG is digital only. I do have the print version. I don't have the backpack with me. I do have the print. Hold that thought. I can show this off since we're here. And promotion is never a bad thing. So I have the print mock-up. And at some point, I got to do some more tweaks to the art stuff. But I haven't been in a hurry to do it because we have the digital version. this is the original cover that my wife did. And so, if you're into tabletop, if you like Dungeons & Dragons and all that other stuff, we have a tabletop RPG that we launched a couple years back, full of a bunch of maps that I created. This is our own unique world of the Weave and the Void. If you ever have played Dragonlance, it's a lot like Dragonlance. The first novel's available on Amazon. You can get a digital copy of this. The print copy's not available yet. And there's a point-and-click adventure game, a lot like King's Quest and Quest for Glory, if you like that kind of stuff. I do not group up with Nathan anymore. Nope. Nathan and I went our separate ways a couple years back. Nathan was a part of... Nathan actually did artwork in this book. There's artwork in this book from Nathan Napalm. The character art, actually, is done by Nathan. If I can find some character art in here. As an example, the brownies right there. I moved on from only doing old school stuff, and Nathan kind of stayed in that genre. I moved on to do more modern gaming and stuff. But he was a part of we did the actual play series for that World of the Weave and the Void, that tabletop world that we have. He was a part of the actual play series for that. And then I think about 2 years ago, they decided to go off and do other things. Him and Sparrow and Bounty and all those people, they wanted to go hard and heavy on Pantheon. Good luck with that. And I said, I don't want to do old school anymore. I would like to focus on growing my channel, so I'm going to go play new games. And I went and played Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield and Cyberpunk 2077 and Rogue Trader and Dragon's Dogma 2 and etc, etc, etc. And like many of the people who focus only on old school stuff, that's why their channels have kind of stayed small, and it's a niche market if you're going to only focus on old school stuff. Plus, there's just a whole lot of issues with wanting to hope for an old school game that's probably never going to come to fruition, that's been in development for like 15 years or something. I think Nathan just had surgery actually recently, so I wish him a speedy recovery. I saw on his YouTube channel recently. Yami Celebs had just made my first Lotro character, and I went Warden. Good luck with that. The Wardens are a lot of fun. I had one during the Mirkwood expansion. It looks like this way is blocked. We've got to find a new route.
There are more up ahead.
Man, I don't have an AoE yet. Probably the best decision I ever made for my channel was deciding to move away from EverQuest 1, Vanguard, and all the old school stuff, because my channel was languishing for a long time, and like the growth from like 5,000 followers up to 7,000 followers was very slow. Like more like 3,000 to 5,000, that was kind of slow. 4,000, 5,000, somewhere in there. But once I started playing modern games, I went from 7,000 in July of last year. We had around 7,000 followers, and then by the end of last year we had 22,000 followers by the end of last year, and then this year we've gone from 22,000 to 32,000. So it's just growing in leaps and bounds this year, and that's all just because I made a conscious decision that there's no growth in old school MMORPGs. I have a great passion for EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, Lord of the Rings Online, Star Wars Republic. I continue to play these games. I will make guides around these games, but I don't main these games anymore, and it's not the main focus of the channel because there's just not enough growth in it. If you want to do this for a living, and I'm doing this for a living, I don't do this as a hobby, so
we must find my
got to focus on the new.
It's too late.
But this is in the spotlight again because it's hot topic right now, so. No, it's been a culmination, MarsCon, but I've had really big boosts around. Baldur's Gate 3 was the first big boost. Starfield was a big boost. Phantom Liberty was another boost. Dragon's Dogma 2 was a pretty good boost. Rogue Trader was, small, you know, a decent boost. The biggest one has been Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield have been the two biggest, and then No Man's Sky has been doing really well for the channel for the last 2 weeks. Like it's probably going to become like 3rd place after Starfield. And then I don't know what it's going to be this year because Dragon's Dogma 2 was pretty good earlier this year, but then there's such a huge list of games we're going to be playing this year. You never can tell what's going to become like the next big thing for your channel, because it's different for everybody, you know. Like I tried Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I had hoped it was going to do good traffic because Dragon's Dogma 2 is doing good traffic, and like nobody, like that just didn't work for my channel.
You fared well, my friend, but all might be lost, nevertheless. We've protected the market square and the crafters area. Already the Mad Badger burns. Perhaps my father is still alive, but I hold little hope. Follow Atli and I will defend what is left of this town to the death.
I would be willing to put down money that Ashes of Creation doesn't launch this year. I don't think it will. I'm not actively following it because I hate PvP, so
I knew you would survive.
Maybe someone has said something to the effect that it might, but
I will guard the hobbits and the injured man. Can you keep the attackers at bay?
They approach! Defend us!
Rip says, I missed all your Dragon's Dogma 2 because I'm starting my move from Texas to California, spending my time with my father. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. The playlists are there. You can always go back and watch them at your leisure. We just crossed 6,000 videos on YouTube this month. Trying to catch up with Carnage, guys. But I'm a long ways behind. He's had 10 years to do it. I've only been doing it for 2.5 years. I've got a hot minute.
No more time for games. We
Uh-oh.
come for the Ranger.
We come for the Ranger.
This is so cool, guys. This is really, really cool. Horrible camera angle here, though. I got my character in the wrong place.
You've always been blind where I'm concerned, Captain. But perhaps you begin to understand me. You should be ashamed. Enough talk. Amdir is now a servant of Mordor. Come, Dunedain.
And then Amdir stands up and goes,
Yes, master.
Poor guy's become a Morgul Wraith. Fucking sucks, man. A ranger fall into the dark side. It's one of the reasons I love playing the human starters, because you get a way more of a backstory about who Amdil is. If you play the Hobbit version, it's a little more disjointed because you're seeing it from the other perspective. Guild Wars was a lot of fun. I had fun with Guild Wars.
What misery has befallen us?
It's a sad day indeed.
My father was right to trust no one.
Archard is burned, my father is dead, and the Ranger was taken by evil men, if men they can be called. All we can do now is wait for the flames to die down. Then, maybe with any luck, we can get to rebuild our poor town.
Oh, I have so many videos on my channel, Rip, about like, the Shire is the best starting area in the game. Hobbits are the best race to play in Lord of the Rings Online. Hands down, Hobbits are the best race to play in this game, and the Shire is like such a cool starting area. It's so good. So good.
With the Black Wolves' attack foiled, the people of Archett have begun to rebuild.
Nice, Rip.
Yet not all hurts are so easily mended. The fate of the Ranger Amdir remains uncertain and may have dire consequences for Breland. But hope remains that he may yet be saved.
Hope remains. That is a major theme in Lord of the Rings Middle-earth. Alright, so now we're in the remnants of Archit after the fire, and this is where you're now officially in the game world. So, before you were in the starter version of Archit, now we're in the actual version of Archit. And I want to run down the road real quick because I want to check out the crafting. We are going to bind ourselves to this milestone. Wait, I got to talk to him first. Hold up.
How can I be of service?
Alright, the loss of my father is a painful one. You were the one who faced down the evil men and drove them and many of the black wolves from the woods surrounding our town. We owe you much.
So this gets us the milestone skill, which allows us to bind ourselves to milestones, which I'm going to do right now. And we're going to bind here. We've received some mail, which we'll take a look at in a minute.
Stay a moment.
Alright, so he wants us to bury some bodies. And this gives me a chance to show off
Why to take a moment of your time?
what I was talking about earlier, everybody, how there's different types of quests. I'm going to go grab all these really quick, and you'll see what I mean. Because I'll be able to show you these in the quest journal now.
Come and stay a moment.
And there's one more over here. One of these is going to lead me down the road to the crafting hall, and that's the one I want to grab because we want to go show off the crafting hall.
Hello, friend.
This is it.
Could you help me with something?
This is the crafting tutorial quest. Perfect. Alright, so notice how the quests in the quest journal are, one says Breland, that's the zone that we're in. Then there's a crafting quests, and then there says Epic Volume 1 Prologue. So if you're playing this game for the first time, the Epic quest line is the main story of the game. What you do is, the way I've always played it, is progress the Epic storyline as far as you can until you get to the point where it's like green, or until points gets to like orange or red quests, because then they're too high for you. And then in between that, you can be doing world quests. So the Epic quest is going to send you to zones, and it's going to send you to quest hubs. And what you're supposed to do is do the quests in the quest hubs as you go along the way. And if you do it that way, you will always be of the appropriate level to continue working on the main book quest. The main book quest will continue up until around level 50. I think it's around level... I can't remember. It's when you get into Angmar, they all start being level 50 quests. But they go from level 1. And, by the way, the Epic book quests continue through the expansions. So, you're going from here into Moria, from Moria into Lothlorien, from Lothlorien into Mirkwood, from Mirkwood to Isengard, Isengard to Rohan, Rohan to Gondor, Gondor to Mordor. And you're going to be doing... There are... I don't know how many hundreds of quests in the Epic storyline. It is one of the coolest storylines I've ever seen played out in an MMORPG before, because it goes all the way from the time you're a little level 1 baby, it doesn't matter what race you play, and then all the way through until you're max level, and there's so much to do. And in between there, we'll find lots of other quests to do. But I want to do... We're gonna come back in a minute, and I am gonna have to go get a drink in a minute because I do have a frog in my throat, but I want to see the new crafting system. I think that's just down the road somewhere. Where's it at? Master of Apprentices. Does it tell me where? Yeah, Combe. So we gotta go down the road to Combe. We're not gonna do any quests right now. We're gonna go straight to the crafting hall. And then we'll come back here and work on more quests. Don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked. Go straight to the crafting hall. Ignore the quest icons. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. many quests. We'll be in Combe later. Don't worry about it. But right now, this is where we want to go. We want to come to the crafting hall. Right here in Combe. If you want to find it on the map, it's right here. We're gonna go inside. Ralph Goes to Space says, what's the best way to play? Should you do all the side quests? If it's your first time playing, fuck yeah, do all the side quests. Some of the best quests in this game are side quests. I'm going to give a perfect example of this. There is a quest line in the Troll Shaws that relates to chasing after Gollum and chasing him through the woods, and he's been threatening some nearby people. And if you don't focus on side quests, you will never come across that quest. If you only do the main quest and stay close to the road and make your way through the Troll Shaws and don't branch off and do the quest hubs, you'll never see that quest ever. Please do all the quests in this game. Yes, some of them are a little fetch questy. You've seen them before in other games. Go kill 5 of these, gather me 10 of these. But I promise you the writing is really good, and some of them have some really cool storylines with characters who fall in love, who have relationships. You get to interact with characters from the books. I have a series. I've not worked on this series in a while, so I used to play a lot of this game before I went full time. And I have a series on YouTube called Lotro Tourism, and I followed in the footsteps of the Fellowship of the Ring from the Shire all the way through, and we stop along the way and we see points of interest that are in the books, like the stone troll, the 3 stone trolls from The Hobbit that you can find in the Troll Shaws, but only if you go off the beaten path and go looking for them. There's also another thing called deeds in this game, which are kind of like why am I blanking on the word? Like achievements. They're like achievements in other games, and you can find locations in the game world that in each zone has a series of achievements tied to collecting all the locations within a zone. Misty Mountains in particular, you can go to Goblin Town, and if you go into Goblin Town, you can actually find Gollum's fucking cave. But you'll never find it unless you go off the beaten path and do side quests, because the main quest does not lead you to Goblin Town. So please do all the side quests, go to all the places. Is it worth it to read all the text? Why would you play it if you weren't going to read the text? Like, the writing in this game is the best of any MMORPG out there. If you like the Lord of the Rings books, then you're going to love the writing in this game, especially as it relates to the epic quest series. But all of those quests are amazing. Like, the quests are really, really good. Can you out-level the quests? Sure. You can absolutely out-level the quests, because this is a level-based game, so there's no level scaling. So if something is too tough, you can come back and do it later. So you can definitely out-level things, for sure. I don't see why you would call that an issue, though. That's just a good sign, because there's so much to do that you can actually choose the routes you go, as opposed to being forced to only do this one area. So you can go over here, do a bunch of quests, and then come over here and do a bunch of quests and just get all the storyline and have fun with the story regardless of whether or not... Like, there's other things, like if you're in the Shire, you're going to do things like delivering pies, and then you're also going to be picking up pies, because there's a quest where the pies have gone rotten and you got to get all the pies, and it's like, some people are like, why would I ever do that quest? It's so fucking stupid. And I'm like, because you're running around delivering pies in the Shire. Like, that's what hobbits do. Like, get into it. Enjoy the vibe of Middle Earth and being a hobbit or being an elf or a dwarf. Or the roleplay in this game is really easy to get into if you like the books and the films. At least for me, it's always been easy to get into. You can still see gray quests, yes, Markazine. I think, though, and it's been a while since I played, I don't know if this is still true, there's a filter here. Is it this game or is it another game that I'm thinking of? I could swear there's a filter somewhere, whether it's here or in your journal. I may be thinking of a different game. I was thinking that there was a toggle somewhere to like track quake crests, but I think they always show up on your icon on your mini map as like a. It might be in the options somewhere. This is what I don't remember. There may be an option. See, that's Star Wars has it on the map. It's not on the map here, and I can't remember if there is an option or not to like turn off great quests or turn them on. That may be something you have to dig into because I honestly can't remember off the top of my head right now. Without really digging into things because it's been a while. But as a general rule, you can do everything you find in the game. The UI show low-level quest option. Hang on, Mama Bird just mentioned it. That's probably the one I was thinking of. So, options, UI settings. She just said it, and I was thinking that this was an option, but I just didn't remember it. So we're looking for somewhere in here is an item, is a clickable. Yeah, show trivial quest icons in Raider. It's off by default, so turn that on. That answers your question, Marzakeen. There is an option here, show trivial quests in the radar. What this will then do, it's off by default. When it's toggled on, you will then see them on your mini-map when you're near them. And I believe they also show up above the icon. Even if they're not on the mini-map, you'll see them above the head of the NPCs as like gray rings. So like normally the rings would be, you know, the yellow ring that you would see, but they're gray if you're over leveled, as I recall. All right, hang on. I need to jot this down in my notes. New crafting. What? We're at 235. All right, so this is a follow-up to the crafting conversation we were having earlier, because someone said the new crafting quests now have you, rather than pick a profession, you pick one of three things. So hang on. Talk to a crafting master in Combe. Find the master of apprentices, which is this lady right here. This still looks the same. No, they've okay, I see what they've done. They've separated it out now. So instead of like yeoman and stuff, they've called it different things now. So now we have, right? Master of crafting guilds, which we can't do yet.
How can I be of service?
I think I want to go tailor. Someone said you can pick 3 now and then a 4th. Let's read this.
Stay a moment.
Tailor needs to go, because the way it worked before is you would pick a profession and it had 3 things within it. So, hang on a second before I do this.
Stay a moment.
So we're getting tailoring. I also want to get forester, because then I can harvest. Okay.
Would you do something for me?
Okay. And then woodworker?
What do you need?
Because that would allow me to make, right? Hang on. Double check this. Cook, farmer, jeweler, metalsmith, prospector, scholar, weaponsmith. No, this would be.
Could I speak with you a moment?
All right, let's double check this because this is all new to me. The tailor would be over here.
Hello there.
Open the crate to get me the supplies. We need to make a rough cloak cloth. Okay, go back and turn in.
Greetings, friend.
Introduction to tailoring. Wow, so this is a really cool change to the crafting system because now instead of having it bundled together, you can pick the 3 that you want. And then someone said in chat earlier, you can now, if you have lotro points, you can spend to get a 4th if you wanted to add a 4th to that, which I'll definitely be doing because I want to be able to add the ability to mine along with this. So then we could do the woodworking. So we've done crafting. So what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to make wooden weapons so I can make my bows. I'll be able to make my leather armor. I'll be able to harvest the wood because we picked forestry. And then if I also pick up a 4th, I can go mine, which I can then sell. Because hides you get from killing. So let's check this out. And then we need to create a bow. Or any of these other things. I want to make a bow. Woodworker. Nope, I want ranged weapon. Oh, hell yeah. And I'm going to make a stat bow, which I can't even use yet. I gotta ding level 7 before I can use it. Oh, this is a really cool change to the crafting system. This is way better. So, I'll probably splice this in with the conversation I had earlier because the part we were talking about in the stream earlier, I didn't know that they had made these changes yet. All of the other stuff was still relevant in that conversation, but the thing that had changed was I had talked about the bundled crafting versus now you can pick the 3 that you want. This is really cool.
Hello
so, to answer the question that was asked during that crafting segment would be yes, definitely do crafting because now it looks like instead of it just being bundled and not being able to do exactly what we want, now you can pick the 3 things that you want to do, which directly impact your character. And then also, if you go up here to the up here at the top, it says "Get More," and I can somewhere in here. I'd have to go look for it. That's for recipes. Hang on, I might have to do that here in a second. Hang on, not get sidetracked. Introduction to forestry. Oh, there's that bow, which we're going to equip in a little bit. I need to make brushed leather or a rowan board. Wait, did I open the... So we've crafted that. Let's also craft the board while we're here. Then... turn into him.
What can I do for you?
And that's the new crafting system. That's really cool. I very much approve of this change. I had not seen this change live, so this is much superior. Mama Bride says, I like picking my own better than the bundled. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Tavaroda says, Lotro is my MMO also. I've not played for years. The hype is massive. Your videos are what made me reinstall today. By the way, is 64-bit. Yeah, the new servers are 64-bit servers. By the way, we talked about this earlier. 0 lag on the 64-bit servers. It's been amazing compared to the free-to-play options where it has server lag. So, Developer Maximus says, are you going to be playing this for a while? No, probably not. I'm striking while the hammer's hot because there was a huge interest in a bunch of people asking me to play it because they wanted me to do updated guides and stuff. So, I've got about 2 weeks until the War Within starts. But my main jam right now is No Man's Sky, so this is very much something I'll play it. I'll probably stream a little bit in the evenings. Maybe once a week I'll stream it during the day, but the main stream right now is No Man's Sky. So the multi-streams right now are around that game. Then once the War Within starts on the 22nd, that will be the main game for a few days. And then my World of Warcraft nights are already scheduled for Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. Raid nights are Saturday nights. And then Star Wars Outlaws starts on the 27th. Then that becomes the main game, and then Space Marine 2 becomes the main game, and then in between there is like No Man's Sky and a little bit of Lord of the Rings Online Legendary. Yeah, so it's not. I'm definitely not maining it, and I'll play it for a bit, But I've been playing this game for launch, so I'm not compelled to play it a lot because I've seen it a lot before. But I'm happy to jump on when we're seeing big numbers on streams and videos and everything else, because it's the cost of opportunity, and this is my day job. So I do have to be conscious of when the strike when the iron's hot, make hay while the sun shines, all those good adages. Now we need to speak to the Master of Apprentices again if we wanted to forget something. So it doesn't exactly prompt. Who is the Master of Apprentices? Because it's not counting her as the Master of Apprentices. Out of pure curiosity. The Master can be found by following the left path once you enter the comb. Were they outside or something and I ran right by them? I might have, I don't know. No, it shows them. Let's untrack all the other quests. Just out of curiosity. Threat from spiders, disease among, prologue. Builders, go off. Yeah, so that's a weird, that must be a bug. Because it's totally not, it says speak with the Master of Apprentices in Comb. Let's untrack these from the minimap. Okay, and also, hang on, that was the wrong one. Untrack this one. Nem says, I haven't been able to complete this quest either. Never found the Master of Apprentices. That sounds like it must be a bug. Probably a bug. Because this is definitely the Mistress of Apprentices. There's not a Master. It's definitely her. Alright, someone said you could get a 4th. That's for get recipes. This says get more. How would I get a 4th? Where would that be in the Lotro store? Character? Upgrade? I should probably just look for it. What would that be under? Crafting? Crafting. Hang on, here's a crafting thing. Craft boosts and tools. I've already got the craft kit. I have no idea what it would be. Someone did say that you could get a 4th with Lotro coins, but I don't know how. So, it's not a big deal. If I can, I'll figure it out later, and I'll come back and also pick up prospecting so that I can mine along the way. But what I really want to do is just come here and see what they were talking about. Get a letter of commendation, detach item, that'll be the boxes we get. Let's untrack that, track these. And we're going to recall, and we're going to go back to Brockenbrook. Nem, where do you unlock the 4th slot, Nem? Because you just said I did the 3 gathering professions, Scholar, Forester, Prospector, and unlocked the 4th slot to get Woodworker as well. Like, where did you find how to unlock the 4th slot? Because when I check here, it says get more, but it just puts me into the... like the landing page for the Lotro store. It shoots me to this, the adventuring pack. Limited 1 per account. Steed, writing skill, weapon aura. That's not it. So I'm generally curious, how do you get the 4th crafting slot? Or crafting profession? This is one I don't actually know. I'm playing directly from the Lotro client. I don't use Steam for this game. I've never used Steam for this game. All it's showing me is that Nim says that's how I did it. It's odd that it's not pulling it up on the store. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. And I don't know what it's actually called, but like when you click this to get more, it just defaults to this right here, and it shows you the limited time offer. Oh, you know what? I wonder if... No, see, it's showing the most popular... It's just showing 5 items as limited time offers. That's cosmetics. Huh. Yeah, I don't even see 4th profession. Like, putting 4th in here doesn't even show me anything. Or profession when I search. I wonder if it's bugged. We could look it up later. All right. Oh, you know what I forgot to do while I was in Combe was go to the... I should have ran over to Bree and gone to the bank. Because I am running out of inventory space. Salty said the get more button isn't working every time. I had to click it multiple times to get it to work. Okay. Now, here's another quest. This one actually wants me to go see Jill, the Mistress of Apprentices, which is different from the other one, which wanted me to talk to the Master of Apprentices. All right. Which... Since we just did that, I'm totally going to ride back down there and turn that in real quick, because I want to see if maybe that'll prompt me to something. Yeah, I've heard a lot of issues about Steam as well. Oh, I've clicked on it multiple times, Buljar. It's just not working. And we have 2 quests. One says Master of Apprentices, and this one says Mistress of Apprentices. So I'm going to at least go turn in the one that says Mistress of Apprentices, because we know that one will be turned. We can turn that one in for sure. The only pro I could see to playing on Steam would be that it has partial controller support. So if it works anything like Guild Wars 2, you could come in and set up a controller. And I do prefer playing my games with controller. It's one of the reasons I love World of Warcraft. I don't normally sit this close to the desk. Those of you who tune into the daily streams, I'm usually sitting farther back because I'm actually kicked back with my feet up playing with the controller, because I play mostly console games and WoW. I don't do mouse and keyboard too much. Alright, so now we can turn into her.
How can I be of service?
Got the deed for the ding. And a whole bunch of stuff just happened. We now have our wood tracking. I'm never going to use that right there. Somebody said, there it is. It worked that time, guys. Maybe I just had to ding. Maybe I had to ding to get the 4th but it's 1,000 points. So there we go. I can add this to the crafting video as well, because it looks like you can get a 4th slot. So that's really cool to see how the changes for crafting have taken place. Very cool. We're definitely buying that. Sweet. And now I'm going to go get mining, because hell yeah. How do I pick up a 4th? Hang on. Did it put it in my inventory? Yes. We're going to, I think it's Prospector.
Greetings.
Dude, this is so cool. So now I can mine, I can harvest wood, I can get hides, I can make all my own gear with the tailoring, I can make all my own weapons, and I can be selling ore on the market and making money. Hell yeah! Am I lifetime VIP? I wish I was. When VIP was around, when the lifetime options were around, I was traveling full time and was not in a position to take advantage of that because I wasn't playing enough to justify it. 15 years later, it would be awesome if I was a lifetime VIP. No, but I'm not. Pedro says, is it worth to play only for history lore for free? Yes. How much can I play without pay? Level 1 to 90, up to Helm's Deep on the free-to-play servers. You're asking because from Brazil, so it's much more expensive because it's only in dollars. Correct. Totally get it. I live in Mexico, so I get it. It's, you know, it's my homestead is in Mexico. So a lot of stuff, you know, here in Mexico is more expensive than it is for other people because we're on the peso. Go play the free game. You can do level 1 to 90 to up to Helm's Deep. All the races are there. There's no gold caps. I think almost all of the classes are there, other than the Mariner and like the Brawler. I think, 'cause those are the 2 new ones. And you can play so much of this game absolutely for free. And then if you like it, you can pay a subscription and get access to everything. And I don't know if they do combos anymore, but I remember back in the day I picked up for my brother. I got him the I think it was called the Quad Pack. It was Shadows of Angmar, Mines of Moria, Mirkwood, and Rohan for like $40. It was a 4-in-1 pack, and I don't know if they do any more of those combo packs anymore. You just finished the Jedi Knight storyline in the Old Republic. Now I'm gonna go start playing Lotro, says Pedro. Awesome. Farfuffle says, one of the joys of getting old, I think, as gamers are getting older. Devs are catering more to our growing frailty with controller support. Yeah, the evolution has been nice because, like, in Shrouded, as an example, I can go in and it seamlessly switches between mouse and keyboard and controller. No Man's Sky, you could seamlessly switch between mouse controller. I pretty much these days, I get a lot of offers to play free games, and I get a lot of keys given to me. And I would say 95% of the free keys I get for like Steam games or GOG games and stuff and Epic games are like early access titles that only have mouse and keyboard, and I won't play them. If your game comes to me and it's a modern game and it only has mouse and keyboard, I won't touch it. Older games like this I will, because I understand it's older tech, and it is a trick when you have a limited development team to also add controller support. I would love it if they did. This and Star Wars: The Old Republic. I would love it if these games would add controller support, but they won't because they don't have the budget for it. They didn't even add it to World of Warcraft until Shadowlands, which was just a few years ago. So it even took World of Warcraft 15 years to add controller support. So it is definitely a budget issue. Unless your game is also going to be on consoles like Final Fantasy XIV, in which case they do have a controller option even for the PC. But yeah, I won't touch modern games if they don't also offer me controller support. It's like, if your game forces me to use mouse and keyboard, I don't want it on my computer. Like, somebody wanted me to try Dungeonborn the other day, and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. The videos look awesome. You know, and then I go to the Steam page, and it says no controller support. And I went, nope. Looks great. Trailers look awesome. Not going to play it because you don't let me play it with a controller. Introduction to Prospect.
Stay a moment.
Let's do this really quick so that we can get this out of our quest journal.
What do you need?
Oh, the lights are flickering. If I lose power, guys, that'll be it for the day. It's almost noon. There are storms coming in today. That may be wind pushing the power lines. What are we supposed to do? Copper ingots. You guys can totally see the lights flickering. It's that thing about living in the boonies sometimes. Living out in the middle of nowhere on a homestead. Sometimes there are issues.
Greetings.
Yeah, scaling is another one, Farfuffle. So as an example, the machine that I'm running this on right now is a 4K machine. But right now I have the default UI, the default resolution on the monitor to be at 1920 by 1080 because I was playing EverQuest 2 for a little bit with the guys, and that game didn't have any scaling for 4K resolution. I don't know if this game, I haven't actually looked to see if this game has 4K. I know they have a UI scaling tool, but I haven't checked whether or not it has 4K resolution support. But that's another thing where it's a money issue for the dev teams, so I just don't expect it of old games. All right, now we can go back because we've actually got prospecting now, which is freaking awesome. Ooh, I got more mail. Bango Boffin. All right, we're going to take a minute. If you've never played this game before, the Bango Boffin quest line, you need to do this. Someone was asking about side quests earlier. Should I do side quests? This is the perfect example of a side quest that you should 100% do because it leads you all over Middle-earth, and you earn these special tokens that can be spent at a specialty merchant that you find along the way at various points. And you can buy maps of Bingo Boffin's journey through Middle-earth. So you get these maps, and they have different sizes of maps which you can place within your house. I have videos up of our Ken Hall on Laurelin showing those maps. They're so cool. Also, the storyline is really cool because along the way, early on in the storyline, you're going to meet a hobbit who inadvertently traveled all the way to Isengard, and he didn't know it. But the story is so much fun about how he went to Isengard and came back, and he didn't know where he went. But you, as a reader of Tolkien or a viewer of the movies, will know exactly where he went based on the things that he talks about from the journey that he went on. It's so much fun. And you get some hats. You get a hat rack for your house. There's so many cool cosmetics you can get for them. So you can get like a mug, just really cool cosmetic items. They're a lot of fun. Highly recommend that you do the Bingo Boffin quests when you come across them. So much worth it. So much worth it. So much worth it? That's probably not right English grammar. It's so much worth it. It's definitely worth it. All right, now we need to ride back. Go back down the road to Archit. Very, very impressed with the 64-bit servers, everybody. I have not seen a single instance of server lag. Nothing, no hitching or anything. Look at this. Listen to that music, guys. The music is so chill. Yeah, Bingo's quests are the best for sure. Nim says, didn't end up going River Hobbit Hunter. I had, you know, I thought about it, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to do a human. The human, I like the look of the armor on the human. It's a standard starting experience for me to show off Bree for the videos, so it's great for new players. I do want to go see the River Hobbit starting area stuff, so at some point I'll probably do that on my own time. I'll probably go do my River Hobbit burglar. At some point, you never know. Yeah, this ride is showing the buttery smooth. It's pretty awesome. It's very awesome. Very, very cool. I actually haven't even listened. I don't even think my fans have barely kicked on. This is also a new rig, though. It's got a 4080 in it, so it's overkill for this game. But it's running like silk right now, which is really, really cool. It's going to be interesting to see the timeline for them getting the tech moved out to the free-to-play servers. I've always played elves before for my hunters, by the way, too, Nim. Looking at the hunter this morning and the character creation, I was like, the gear just looked really good. So being able to make my own gear, I was like, I think we'll just go for this. All right, guys, I've been going for 3 hours. I have got to go bio and get a cup of coffee and a snack. Give me 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. I will be right back. It's going to be the chair stream, so say hi to my, like, destroyed chair, because it's just, the cats have destroyed it. All the claw marks. Smeagol finally decided he was ready for the office. He's like, I'm ready for the air conditioning, Dad. It's hot outside. All right. Let's get caught up with everybody. Wow, the goats make the most horrific sound in this game. Somebody's got a goat mount. Where are you at? Somebody has a goat mount. I totally just heard it. When you dismount in this game, the goat mounts can make... They have like 3 or 4 different like standard audio cues that they have. One of them sounds like somebody's killing the goat. It's horrible. It's one of the most horrific goat cries you will ever hear. My brother and I die laughing every time. And it's one of the funniest things to do is just to sit there when you've both got goat mounts and just like spam your mount dismount button. Because it'll start. You'll get all sorts. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. We have lots of cats, yeah. We have, so when we moved in, when we bought this homestead 2.5 years ago, actually it's close to 3 years ago, I think we bought this place, but when we moved in February of 2022, so 2.5 years ago. Dora was she came with the house. She was like, she just showed up one day. And she was starving, so we started feeding her, and about a week after we started feeding her, she started coming inside, and somehow she stuck inside one night and slept in the house. And I woke up at like 5 in the morning to find this cat outside the office door, and I was like, how the hell did you get in here? Did you sleep in here? And then as I'm talking to her, I hear this meow, meow, meow outside, and I'm like, what the hell? And it was a little kitten that had come looking for mommy because mommy didn't come home last night. And that was the first kitten we found. I captured it. It's probably about 2-3 months old, like somewhere like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. You know, got bit, was like, shit, rabies, you know, worried about stuff, and, you know, it is what it is. It was a wild cat from the woods, you know, a feral cat. And so it was one of her kittens, and then she left the house a couple hours later and then came back. And I remember because I came out of the bathroom, and I'm looking out the back door, and I see Dora coming, and she's sitting in our backyard, and she's calling to the woods behind her property, and I just see this little tail come out of the woods, and I'm like, oh no, she brought more, and it was just one more. So those were the first two. That was Luke and Leia, if you can tell where my interests lie. Turns out she was pregnant, and we didn't know she was pregnant, and we then found out she was pregnant. She was a street cat, you know, and we tried to get her spayed, but none of the vets would do a late-term spay here in our town, this little town where we live, because they didn't want to do the abortion. So we just had to let her have the 5 babies. And she had 5 babies, and that became Frodo, Sam, Merry, Pippin, and Smeagol. Those are the 5 babies that she had. So then we wound up with a boatload of cats. Sammy, unfortunately, Sam passed away. Sam got hit by a car last year. It was very traumatic for my wife because that was her first pet ever. Sam was the one she bonded with. But Frodo is the other one that has bonded with my wife. So Frodo is definitely my wife's cat. He likes me, but he loves my wife. And then we have Smeagol. If I move my camera a little bit, Smeagol just came into the office here. If I can move this, Smeagol's right there. And the funny story about Smeagol when he was a kitten is he ate a piece of sponge at when he was like 3 months old. Like, he got a hold of a kitchen sponge because he was trying to look for things, and kittens put things in their mouth that they shouldn't. And he totally ate a piece of sponge, and for like 3 weeks he had this little, and he was coughing a lot. and it was like he was converting to Smeagol and my converting to Gollum. So we were always kind of chuckling like, poor guy, you know, because he's coughing, but it was like it's Smeagol converting into Gollum because he's just poor guy trying to hack up a piece of sponge. That lasted for about 6 weeks, and he finally expelled it. But he's a good boy. Yes, they're 2 years old now. In May they turned 2. Smeagol is by far the biggest one. I would say he's probably 7 kilos. We haven't weighed him in a while. He's got to be 15 pounds. He's a big boy, and he's definitely kind of an equally bonded with Chris and I. But he bites at nighttime. He comes in, he'll grab your hair and he just yanks on it if he wants a snack. He's not very nice at night, and then he bites my legs all the time when he's hungry. But he's a good boy. And then Pippin is my baby. Pippin's bonded with me. She's not in the office right now. She's outside. And then we have Snow White, who we adopted. She was a rescue cat off the street about a year ago. I think almost exactly a year ago. We have way too many cats. And we have a bunch of chickens. We have egg chickens, meat chickens. We have a homestead channel for those of you who want to check that shit out. I don't post there horribly often. Every once in a while we do, though. There's links around. You can go dig and find it. All right. Normally I cut off at 3 hours, but we've got a pretty big audience today, so we're going to keep going for a bit more, guys. Do some more quests. Don't forget, tomorrow morning we'll be back to No Man's Sky for the daily stream, but I will be playing some more Lord of the Rings Online Legendary, probably in the afternoons/evenings. So you'll want to turn in and tune in anytime I'm live. I multi-stream on YouTube and Twitch, so make sure to follow along in both places. Don't forget to hit up the Discord too if you want the maximum amount of notifications when I go live. There's also TikTok, Instagram, X, Facebook, Discord, and Patreon. And if you want to get involved with our gaming community, we are currently playing World of Warcraft Retail, starting the War Within soon. We have a really good, I forgot about this. We're not going to touch that. Our main gaming community is in World of Warcraft right now. But this year we played Enshrouded together. We played EverQuest 2 together. Yeah, Smeagol is a handsome boy. Yes, you are. Normally I start my stream a little later, and he'll wake up from his nap just about every day towards the end of my streams, and he'll come. Oh no, we've been booted from the game world. Did the servers just crash? I don't know. We're gonna switch screens over here while we see what just happened. Do I like having fresh eggs? Hell yeah, I eat eggs almost every single day. That crashed my client all the way. I don't know what we did. Maybe the servers crashed. Here we were just bragging on the servers. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah, Angmar and Mordor downtime notice Friday, August 9th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. Oh, the servers just went down. Well, I guess that's the end. I totally went AFK to come back to the end of the stream. Okay. Yeah, I just noticed I went to go reload the client, and the client window. Here, I'll show you guys. Pardon my messy second screen. Angmar and Mordor will be unavailable on Friday. No, do not jump up there, buddy. Unavailable Friday, August 9th from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern for maintenance. Thank you for your patience, and we'll see you back soon. Well, I guess we're done, everybody. I was going to play for another hour, but since they decided to kick the servers off, we're going to wrap up. Are you coming over to Daddy's lap now? Where do you want to go? He doesn't know what he wants right now. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. As we wrap up here, I guess, since we're going to be quitting here, I may stream some more tonight. We'll see. Chris has got to go to her family's tonight. So if she's not here, I may sneak on and stream some more tonight. But tomorrow, we'll be back to No Man's Sky for the daily stream. So 11 a.m. Central, we'll be live on YouTube and Twitch playing No Man's Sky as we continue our journey there. For those who weren't paying attention or weren't here at the very beginning or you missed it, the Lord of the Rings Legendary thing for me is very much, I'm going to be doing it in between all the other things I do. Once or twice a week, I might stream it. It just depends on the days and everything else. And I will be doing some updated guides for some of the classes. I really want to check out the new Lore Master stuff, so I'll probably hop on and check out some of the Lore Master things. Probably start a burglar, dabble around here and there. But I got a lot of different things that I do. I play a lot of different games, so if you want to keep up to everything that I play, because it is a variety channel, just follow along on YouTube and Twitch, and you'll see all the things. The big thing is we're rolling from here, and No Man's Sky, we're going into The War Within on the 22nd. Star Wars Outlaws, the 27th, Space Marine 2 after that, and then we've got Indiana Jones, The Veil Guard, Dragon Age, King of Crown Deliverance 2. Gamescom is going to be big. We're going to be doing live coverage of Gamescom later this month. Chris and I are prepping a rewatch of Rings of Power Season 1, and I will absolutely be reviewing Rings of Power Season 2 here on the channel, episode by episode. So stay tuned for that stuff as well. Check out all the other playlists on YouTube if you happen to be watching on Twitch. Big shout out to everybody. I had a ton of people do Twitch subscriptions today, and I had the audio cues turned off because it was getting overwhelming because it's the same cue for follows. So if I didn't thank you personally for subscribing, just thank you in general for everybody who's supporting the channel. This is my day job, so I appreciate those of you who support and keep me on the air full time, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch. I'm out. I'll catch you guys later. Have fun. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and if you have more questions, don't hesitate to ask. Check out the playlists. I've got one specifically for the Angmar adventures, and then my general Lord of the Rings Online playlist, which goes back several years and has all the stuff from over the years, plus my guides and my Lotro Cooking in Real Life series, as well as the Lotro Tourism series. There's also a Mondays in Middle-earth podcast. It's a couple of years old, but I started with The Hobbit, and we did an entire read-through of The Hobbit all the way through to the Silmarillion. So it's got a whole bunch of episodes in it. It took us about 2 years to do that with weekly updates. So if you want to check out my Mondays in Middle-earth podcast, you can also go dig that up on YouTube as well. It is one of my favorite fantasy worlds, if not my most favorite fantasy world of all time. So until next time, everybody, stay safe. Happy gaming.